Hello, hello.
Hello, Dawg Sidious. As I drop my notes. Hello,
Oh, you
Dawg
might want to mute me there, Al.
Sidious. Yeah. All right, we're good now. So, Dawg Sidious, good to have you on the channel again. What's going on, buddy? How goes the channel?
Doing well, Al. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me again. So, yep, just recently did a live stream on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
a
did
lot of fun.
our top 10 best to worst Star Wars films. So we had a pretty good time. I think we had a nice turnout and folks had fun with it. So planning on doing some of those in the future. So I've got some ideas roaming around in my head right now for the next one. So.
Great.
And we'll be keeping up to date with the news as it comes along as well too. So I'll probably do a couple uploads this weekend possibly, and but I'm kind of getting ready for what we're gonna do for possibly the next live stream. So what's going on with you?
Well, what's going on tomorrow? We're gonna be back on, you and I, and we're gonna have another guest, Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, and we're gonna talk a little sim sports and what got us hooked on that, as well as he's a huge Star Wars fan also, like yourself, Dawg. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I will defer to you on all things Star Wars as you are my expert. And, the usual, but we'll be talking about what got us into sports sims. And I'm going to break out one of my old school card and dice games as a kid to show. I spoke with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, and joining in the chat is Will Magic Man. How are you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. House Sanchez has joined us also. Hope all is well. Yeah, so that's and then we have our usual sports sims on my channel, and again tomorrow we're going to be back on, myself and Dawg Sidious, with our other good friend Stratomatic, Delaware, and that's Chris. So that's going to come up around 10 p.m. tomorrow night. And we're going to be sports sims talk, sports, movie, TV, Star Wars, all kinds of fun stuff. And we always go to the chat. You can throw out subjects. Will the Magic Man, he's a big boxing fan from across the pond. How are you doing? And how's Sanchez? First time I've seen him or her in the chat. So, Dawg, I believe you have some upcoming movies. That we've discussed. I saw a couple of trailers. I don't know if anyone's seen the J.J. Abrams trailer for Overlord, which starts off like a World War II movie and turns into a zombie movie. And then Homies, which is a Sherlock Holmes spoof with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. As House Sanchez says, give me sports! House Sanchez, what is your favorite sport? And Felicia has joined us from Citadel of Trivia, another wonderful channel. And before I mess this up, let me go to the wonderful channels that we have put links in the chat. And of course, we have Dawg Sidious, all things Star Wars and entertainment. And we have Broke Black Man 94, again, TV and entertainment. He does wonderful recap reviews, live reaction. JD, PS4 games, Game of Thrones. He's an author. What's Blazing in Sports, great boxing channel. Higher Ground Gaming, retro sim sports like I do. ID Gesture Sports, military strategy and RPG games. Stratomatic, Delaware with Chris. He'll be on with us tomorrow, myself and Dawg Sidious. And again, card and dice sports sims. RNGIDP with Craig from Colorado. Another card and dice sports. Soccer Blast, baseball. Phil the Issues Guy. Wonderful channel. Him and Joe Dirty Locks, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, you name it, it's on that channel. Wonderful, one of the most fan-friendly channels out there on YouTube. Espo's Strat Sports Network with Chris. Tabletop Baseball Plus with the two Earls. Again, card and dice, baseball, football, golf, all kinds of great stuff there. Mosley Boxing, another wonderful boxing channel. Omenino for video gameplay. EO Sports League with Elin. Sim Sports. Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony, card and dice sports. And he's got wonderful, wonderful knowledge of all sports and great bio stories on the old-time athletes. Johnny Indie Boots, Johnny the King, Game of Thrones, and all kinds of fun stuff on there. Max Cornelius, another wonderful channel. Tribes Fan 879, Sports Sim. AU Pack Mule, good friend of myself, and Dawg City. They're all good friends. And I'll let Dawg talk about AU Pack Mule for a moment. AU Pack Mule just does a wonderful job with his channel, doesn't he, Dawg?
Oh yeah, AU's great. So he pretty much gave me my first opportunity doing a live stream and one of the hangouts, and
yeah,
I'll always be appreciative of what AU's done for me with that. So
AU's a great guy.
Yeah, AU's great. I love his streams when he brings somebody. He always brings somebody new on, and he's like. He does like a great interview with them.
Absolutely.
Just about all the folks I've noticed in the Game of Thrones community, AU Pack Mule's like
he plays a wonderful devil's advocate.
Oh, so. He's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, there he is. He knew.
AU Pack Mule in the house.
So,
and then let's quickly move on to the rest. Clinton Parks, get better, Clinton. He had some health issues, but he's getting better. And a big shout out to good friends of the channel who don't have channels. Herb Pilgrim. Get better too, Herb, and Beatles Eternally. We got to get him on someday. And then we have Mr. Utah Mike. Check out that channel. Citadel Trivia, which was just on tonight. You were on there playing the game, and that's with Felicia. She's in the chat. Milt and Marie and Mary. They do a wonderful job. It's Game of Thrones trivia and other trivia. Wonderful channel. Citadel of Trivia. Link, again, provided below. The original Grognard. Wonderful military strategy channel, along with his friend Itinerary Hobbyist, and Chrissy of Old Stone's beautiful reading voice, and Johnny St. Baptiste. He does this really interesting thing with music, and he puts links in because he can't play the music like none of us can, but it's like a theme every week, and it's wonderful. And Appa Replay, this is like a blog site, and he does a lot of sim sports in which he writes articles about. It's a lot of fun to read. And also Lady Wolverton's Den, Game of Thrones related. All right, we've got that out of the way, and I enjoyed doing that. Once again, thank you, and hello to Will Magic Man, House Sanchez, Felicia, AU Pack Mule. So thank you very much for joining us. All right.
Oh, we had a blast on trivia tonight. I don't know if you got to be over there. I think you got to catch the end there, Al. But
yeah, I did. I was doing laundry because that's
right.
Who won the trivia? How'd you do, Dawg?
I think I want to say Ben Hogan ended up winning.
The golfer.
Yep, I think I got second, and Felicia was right. I was copying Felicia on the mythology stuff and stuff I don't know. But
I just got to ask this question: How does Felicia get to play that game when she's on the panel?
I don't ask those kinds of questions, Al.
Oh, that's funny.
What's the topic, Sanchez? What do you want it to be, man?
Go ahead, throw out a topic, House Sanchez. We have topics we're going to hit, but you asked, throw out a topic. As they went like this. Okay, here's the topic. Here's the topic. We're going to go with a topic here. Jaws is going to be our first topic. Jaws, great summer movie. Scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was so scared of Jaws, I wouldn't take a bath. That's how scared I got with that movie. Still holds up. Shark scenes are a bit cheesy, but one of the best movies out there for a great summer flick. I always look forward. That's one of the movies, Dawg Sidious, that if it's on like at night or anytime and I'm doing something, I click the TV on, I'm like, oh, Jaws. I gotta sit and watch that a bit. What are your thoughts on Jaws, Dawg Sidious? Herb Pilgrim's jumped in the chat. He says, "Yo, Al."
Same way with that, Al. With that film, that film scared the heck out of me, and yeah, it must have been probably about 3 or 4. It's one of the first films I remember seeing in the theater, you know. Yep. So, but yeah, like when Richard Dreyfuss is scuba diving underneath the ship there, and that head pops out.
Head. Yeah, Ben Gardner, right? Ben Gardner's head pops out like that.
Right. Yeah, I think I grew up right next to, I grew up on Lake Erie, basically, right? So yeah, I wouldn't even go in the Lake Erie because I was afraid of the sharks. But
let me go to the chat real quick, Dawg. Sure. Let me say hello. Herb Pilgrim, he says, "Yo, Al, hey, Dawg," and he says hello to everyone else, Felicia, AU Pack Mule, and everyone else in the chat. Felicia says, "Word as teams, me and Milt don't discuss questions with, I think she means discuss. So that's how she's able to play. I was just joking with you anyway. Will Magic Man says, I have never been in the ocean since I saw Jaws. Oh, those many years ago, I'm too scared. I'm telling you, when I saw Jaws, I was like, there's a shark in the closet when I was a kid. I was petrified. And the scene with Ben Gardner's head, I think we talked about that before. I still jump. I know the scene's coming, and I jump. I jump.
It's just a class. It's just an absolute classic scene. So yeah, they timed that perfectly, and so. And the wonderful to do something like that too, you'd think underwater and all that. Yep. I'd kind of like to go back and look and see exactly how they did that, what they went through. But
that movie, I'll tell you, and let me jump to the chat real quick. Felicia says, I remember seeing that movie really young. Scared the shit. Can we say that? Can we say shit on YouTube? Oh my god, I just said
duty.
Scared the duty out of me. I love in the ocean. State so much oh yes, where she is. She is correct. Herb Pilgrim, I haven't been out in anything but lakes and pools since 75. Herb, as I stated earlier, when I was a kid, I wouldn't go in the bathtub. And then we always, your friend had a pool, right? Well, like my friend, and you're young. And like his older brother goes, there's sharks in there. And like it's a 4-foot pool. And like, really? There's sharks in the pool? I don't want to go in the pool. You'd be petrified. So, and AU Pack Mule, bringing us all back down to earth, says, I went to the beach the very next day, AU said. The hell with the shark. As Felicia says, LOL, LOL, calling out all my bad typing. Well, I have bad typing too. I think Jaws still holds up to this day. Again, the shark scenes, I'm not going to say cheesy. That's not the right word. What word am I looking for? They did the best they could at the time.
I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, the way the shark looks. But other than that, and the backstory for that movie, Dog, is absolutely, it's better than the movie. How they wanted to shut it down because they were so over budget. Which Richard Dreyfuss stated when the movie completed, before it went out to the theaters, how he thought this movie would ruin his career. He was so that that the movie's going to be awful, and it turned out as one of the greatest movies of all time. Still, hold every summer that movie's on TNT. I own it on Blu-ray. Still amazing to me. I love that movie.
Well, they had great actors in it, and the characters were great too. So that's what. Like even all the cheesy scenes and what are kind of outdated now with the shark and things of that nature, right? But those characters are great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Herb Pilgrim says one exception: wading out chest deep in the Bahamas. Had an amazing experience, though. Seeing a large stingray gliding around within maybe 5-6 feet, amazingly beautiful experience. I would have pooped myself. That's just me. That's just Jaws. Great, a lot of great scenes in there. They had great comedy, great timing, and then the big thing was, again, in the documentary, and you could probably find it on YouTube or definitely online somewhere. They always said how brilliant Spielberg was. They interviewed, it's brilliant. You didn't show the shark. What do you say, Dog? Halfway through the movie, they show the shark. Less than halfway? Because we first see the shark.
Yeah, maybe about halfway. Isn't the first time we actually see the shark like when he's throwing the guts out off the boat? Like out the back of the boat, he's throwing the guts out there?
No, I think
it just kind of goes right by him. Is that the first time we actually see it? We might have saw its fin, maybe.
I think the first time we see the shark when it eats the Kittner boy. It comes up and it sort of goes. Because we really don't see the shark when it takes the young lady in the beginning.
Right.
Bubba Husky's in the chat. He says hello. Will Magic Man.
Music to scare you and the
absolutely. The score was is that what the music? The score unbelievable. But the big thing with the shark, Spielberg goes, "Yeah, brilliant. I wanted to show the shark in the first scene, but Bruce, the name of the shark, right? It wouldn't work, so they had to, improvise around it." Yeah, just so many. Manny's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? The music, Will Magic Man, absolutely. The music, dun 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 dun. That music is distinct. You know. Now the sequels were not any good. My favorite of the sequels, and we'll get back to the original, was actually probably the worst one. No, Jaws 3D was pretty bad. I like the one with Michael Caine, Jaws' Revenge. It's personal.
Oh, Jaws' Revenge.
It was
That's
so
the one
bad.
that I was like, oh, what's going on here? The shark is following these guys like he's Michael Myers or something.
Yeah. Do you remember how the
shark went out?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It was kind of a Han Solo moment.
Yeah,
I felt.
Was not. It was funny. I liked. I mean, as Felicia says, isn't Bruce the name of the great white for Nemo? Finding. Oh wow, I think it could be. It could be.
I haven't seen Finding Nemo in so long. I can't remember.
Bruce was the name of the shark in Jaws. That was the code name. Bruce is down. I believe it was Bruce. They go, Bruce is down. Bruce isn't working, because when they filmed it, nothing worked, because it worked to perfection, but they filmed it. I mean, in a pool. Then they got to the salt water, and you know what salt water does? Deteriorates things. So it didn't work right. Bubba Husky in the chat.
Bubba's here.
The robot shark at Universal Studios almost scared the actual crap out of my brother, LOL. As Felicia says, fish are friends, not food. John Williams, Herb Pilgrim says, John Williams did the music. That explains its captivating effect. The music is just awesome. There's so many good scenes. The scene with the two guys wanting to catch the shark, and they took a roast out of the wife's. One of the guys took the roast out of the Sunday roast, and they used it for bait. You know that famous scene, Dog? They're on the what's that? The platform, the deck, whatever you want to call it, the little boardwalk that goes out in the water.
The plane?
And the shark yanks it down. He's like, just swim, don't look back, just swim. Just a lot of great scenes. And then Quint was awesome.
Oh yeah, is that Robert Shaw's
Robert Shaw. And they said the very famous scene when he's talking about the Indianapolis, for those, the doc, thank you, AU Pack Mule. The Indianapolis is a true story of I don't know if it was a cruiser, but a Navy ship that went down, got torpedoed in World War II after delivering one of the bombs. I don't know if it was, I think it was the first or second, I'm not sure.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, the Indianapolis, and that's a true story. They went in the water, and the sharks just decimated them. And that's when he tell that famous story when they're going back and forth with, I got bit by this, or I had this operation, and then they go, what's that? That was a tattoo, he says. And he goes, what was it, mother? And he goes, no, Mr. Hooper, that was the Indianapolis. And he tells the story. And when I was a kid, again, way before the internet, obviously, when I heard that, I actually went, the next time I was able to get to the library, I tried to look that stuff up. You know, I read everything about sharks I could, because the movie was fascinating to me. I know, what is it, Peter Benchley wish he never wrote the book, because it kind of demonizes sharks. But a shark, we just had a shark attack at Cape Cod. The guy was swimming 90 yards out, and he got attacked by a shark who spit him out, luckily. I don't suggest swimming 90 yards out at the Cape in seal-infested water. What do the sharks like to eat, people? What do the sharks like to eat? Just, Lucky, come on. Anyone take a guess? Do, 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 do.
Looks like the Indianapolis was tiger sharks.
Yeah. Sharks like to eat at the Cape seals, so don't swim in seal-infested water. Milt K has joined us, and we just had a lovely game with Milt. Oh, my camera's shaking. We just had a lovely game, the Milt Invitational tournament game. That was a lot of fun the other night.
Classic?
Yeah, the Milt. I forgot what I think it was the Milt, Classic or something like that. But a lot of fun. His Oakland A's.
I called it the Classic.
we had a good time that night. And he managed the game a little bit, so that was fun. Will Magic Man says, I think that sharks are attracted to ammonia, so don't pee in the sea. Good sound advice by Will.
Don't swim in somebody's toilet.
We all swim in someone's toilet when we go in the ocean, the fish's toilet. So, yeah, but that's one of the Milk K, top of the food chain, LOL. Scary Terry says, House Sanchez. But that is a movie. I know we were talking offline or before we came on. Like, that's one of those movies, Jaws. Like I say, if it's on TV, right, I'm gonna stop and watch it. Goonies is another one, and
I love Goonies.
And one of your favorites, Ben-Hur. So let's throw this out to the chat. One of our first subjects. If you like movies, what is a movie that if it's on TV, you're like, I gotta watch a bit of this, and you end up watching most of it? What is one of your Jaws, Goonies, Ben-Hur, The Godfather, The Natural, 8 Men Out? Those are some of mine. But Jaws is always, I'm like, oh, I got it, and I own it. So just what the Truffle Shuffle is how Sanchez says. Milk K says, next game, 2001 A's versus your pick Dog. LOL. We can do that. I think I have the 2001 A's. Dog says 1995 Cleveland Indians. It's on like Donkey Kong. The original Grognard is in the house. He says Kelly Hero
Bringing
and
Albert
the Quiet
back.
Man. Kelly's here. Original Grognard, would you like to join us in the chat tonight? Or I should have messaged him. I didn't think of it. Major Leagues, that's a good one. Kelly's Heroes, let's discuss. I like Kelly's Heroes. In fact, Kelly's Heroes was one of the first movies. Remember, it was a World War II heist movie?
Right.
It was awesome, Kelly's Heroes. How many stars did they have in that movie, Dog? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, almost felt like the Dirty Dozen or something, really, or
yeah. As Original Grognan says, can't make it tonight.
That's a good one.
I'm afraid next. That's fine. In the chat's cool. But Kelly's Heroes, lots of fun. Great fun action movie. You had Clint Eastwood, Don Rickles. Oh my God, there's so many I can't even name.
Godfather.
Donald's. Oh, who said The Godfather? House Sanchez. Yep, that's another one. Herb Pilgrim says, could watch Kelly's Heroes 4 times a year, LOL. That was Donald Sutherland. He was oddball. Oh, you know who else was in it? The captain from the Love Boat. He was in Donald Sutherland's tank crew.
Oh,
Gavin
McLeod.
Yeah, was that his name? Yeah, I think you're right.
McLeod.
Stripes. Milk K brings up Stripes. That's boom chugga-lug-a-lug, boom chugga-lug. Why the chicken crossed the road. Good one, Milk. Bill Murray, John Candy, Harold Ramis.
Man, I want to say Judge Reinhold for some reason. I might be out to lunch on that.
No, you're right. Judge Reinhold.
Oh, I think John Larroquette.
Oh, he was the creepy captain, right? Was he the creepy captain?
I think so.
Will the Magic Man says Donald Sutherland as a beatnik tank commander. LOL. That was awesome. When they at the end of that movie, and the gist of the movie is they're going to go rob this German gold. Okay, that's being guarded. The Germans don't even know what they're guarding. All right, and they're going to go rob this German gold, and it's this action adventure. Great movie, Kelly's Heroes. Very fun. I'm trying to. What would you compare it to now, Dawg? Rogue One, I guess, in a weird way. Except that was a
kind of. It's a fun popcorn movie, really.
Yeah, it's a popcorn movie, and I like Rogue One. So, Kelly's Heroes, it becomes this heist movie. Oh, you know what mimicked it? Remember Three Kings? Was it called Three Kings?
The one with George Clooney.
George Clooney kind of mimicked it in a way,
right.
Except it was the Iraq War, which again was
exactly what you compare it to, really.
Okay, so Kelly's Heroes was just just fun popcorn movie. People do, again, fictional. People do die in it. It's not like when you're watching Band of Brothers. That was, when someone dies in Band of Brothers, whether the original or the Pacific, those, like Basilone, when he dies in the Pacific, he really dies in real life. So, but yeah, that's a great movie. Kelly's Heroes. Let's get back to the chat with some more other, and I know it. Patton. That's another good one. Milt brings that up. Patton. George S. Patton. George C. Scott won the Oscar for the movie. That was a very good movie, and it did well at the box office, really, in a time of anti-Vietnam War protest, because that was in 1970, I think. Patton. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I think you're right, Al. I think it was probably on there. I'm going to look up now.
Yeah, if you
boggling my mind here, but yeah, Patton's a great one too.
Braveheart. Herb Pilgrim says Braveheart and Patton. Freedom. That was Indian. Oh my God. House Sanchez. Indiana Jones. Another I tell you, the second movie's grown on me. My favorite's the first. Lots of great scenes in that. We're gonna have to go back and touch on some of these. But that's a great one there. Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, the second one, Last Crusade, the only one that was shite, as they say across the pond, I guess. The one with Shia LaBeouf or whatever the hell that goofball's name is.
Oh, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or something like that. But that was awful.
That was awful. How do you ruin an Indiana Jones movie? You know how you do it? Swinging with the vines with the chimpanzees. That was so stupid. That's almost as bad as What's-Her-Face flying in space. I haven't even got to that part yet.
It's in the ballpark. If we had like a tournament of like dumbest scenes ever in films, we could see them and things like that. And
all right, so before we move on, we're not going to move on from movies, but in the chat, what was it called again, Dog?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Thank you. Does anyone remember the scene I'm talking about? God awful scene. I rooted for the bugs to eat everyone except Indiana. Really. I rooted for the bugs in that scene to eat everybody except Harrison Ford. The scene, he's like swinging through the trees, and the CGI sucked. It was horrible. Does anyone remember that scene?
Yeah, it reminded me of that video game. Was it like, not Pitfall, but like Jungle King, or remember Jungle King?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Milk Case says Princess Leia was awesome holding that hand out while flying through space. LOL. Mary Poppins, I think we called it, right, Dog? Mary Poppins. I'm shaking again.
Yep, Leia Poppins. Super Leia.
Super Leia. Will Magic Man. The first Terminator was oh wow, yeah. The first Terminator. I'll be back, and that you're right. That was something. Would you say we saw? I think that's really cool. Will says. Will Magic Man says, "Dog, the first Terminator. That was something different to me. When I saw that, I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool."
Right.
I know. I mean, the closest thing to that was what? Escape from New York, and that's not really androids. Robots. But that was. I guess
Westworld, maybe.
I was just gonna say that with
I don't know if the original
Yul Brenner.
Yeah.
But that was that's a good one. Good one. Fencing on Jeeps, AU Pac-Man. Did they do that in that Crystal Skull movie too? Ugh. I blocked that out of my mind. Bubba Husky. I like when the kid dipped his comb in dude's soda. Herb Pilgrim, Alien, the first one. Arnold as a bad guy was great. Milt K says. The Indiana Jones, I think that's obviously. I think if they could burn that movie never to be seen again, that fourth one, I think they would.
I know I would. I'd bury it in the backyard.
With the E.T. video game from Atari, out in the desert.
Yeah, but it'd be right there with that. Yep.
That ruined Atari. So, wow, that was a good one. Terminator. And even the second one, when they, I don't know, you know what was brilliant about the second one? Brilliant, I might use too loosely, or not appropriately there, but when they brought Arnold Schwarzenegger characters in the Terminator, even though he's a bad guy, people like the character, right? And they bring him back as a good guy, being reprogrammed. That was awesome. That's a great movie.
Yeah, it kind of opened up the door for other, things in that genre where you could do that with characters.
Well, you
Now
bring
we
them
have
back and you
robots.
change them and you say, yeah, they're a good guy now. It was like wrestling. Yeah, we
Yeah,
revamp.
yeah, really, it was. Yeah,
He's a good guy now.
play the Hulk Hogan music.
Yep. That was. We can go. Were you a wrestling fan in the day?
Oh yeah, like way back when. So
we'll have to touch that a little later.
Yeah.
House Sanchez says The Sandlot. That's a fun movie.
That movie's hilarious. Yeah,
that's the one. That. Now, House Sanchez and anyone. That's the one with the baseball autographed by Babe Ruth, right? And the kid uses the ball and he loses it. The dog gets it. Is that the right one? Sandlot.
Yeah. And then James Earl Jones, the guy at the end.
Oh yeah, and he had that is a fun movie. Herb Pilgrim, Sandlot. Yeah, that they just had a 25-year look back of that this week. Cool. The first Die Hard, yippee-ki-yay, Milt says. You know what's funny? When they do a list of Christmas movies, people put that on their Christmas movie favorite because the first one was during Christmas. I don't consider it a Christmas movie, but
they finally asked Bruce Willis that question. Is Die Hard a
Christmas movie?
Yeah, and he said it's a Bruce Willis movie.
It is. That was another good, fun, entertaining movie. As Herb Pilgrim says, autographed by Babe Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
That is a homage to Goonies. Baby Ruth. Okay, here's a little trivia. Who played Sloth?
Oh, man.
Who played Sloth? And if you need a hint, I'll give you a hint. So this goes to Dawg Sidious in Goonies, and don't cheat, people. Or you can go ahead. I don't care. Cheat. Who played Sloth? Was it Sloth? In the Goonies? The guy, the brother who unfortunately was
yeah, his name's Sloth.
Who played him? Shunk loves Sloth. Who played him? I'll give you a hint. Do you guys want a hint? Take a sip of coffee.
One hint.
Okay. You want a hint, dog? One hint? Football player.
Joe Klecko.
That's not a bad guess. Not Joe Klecko. Would you like another hint?
Yeah, one more hint.
Manny says it was a football player. So Manny might know. So, all right, I'm going to give you another hint. We're going to give you another hint. I believe this gentleman was in a game that you dread. I believe.
Oh, Mecklenburg?
Ooh. No, not Carl Mecklenburg.
Lyle Alzado.
That's close. That is the game opposite team, though. Alzado actually played for Cleveland when they threw the interception.
I can go all night, I guess.
All right, are you ready? Do you want the answer?
Hit me with it. John
Matuzak.
Oh.
John Matuzak played Sloth.
Well,
as Bubba Husky says,
didn't I?
But you were close. You were getting there. But I think he's on that Raider team. I'm not quite sure, so I could be wrong with the hint, but he played for the Raiders. John Matuzak, cruising with the twos. Bubba Husky says Sloth was moderately developmentally disabled. Great character, Sloth. Big heart. Wonder. That was so Goonies, another one of those funny movies I love watching all the time. The Twos, Milt says. As Milt says, I was going to say Matt Millen, LOL. He
ran the Lions like Sloth.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's another one. That was another really just fun movie. And was the kid in Goonies, was he the same kid who was in the second? The kid, the secret agent kid, was he in the second Indiana Jones? Yeah, was he him?
I think he's Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Okay. So that's pretty funny.
And then the one thing that kind of caught me off guard, like you remember the older brother, Mikey, I think his name was Mikey or something.
No,
That's,
Mikey.
That's
Mikey,
Josh Brolin. I didn't even realize that
that's
before.
Josh Brolin?
Yeah, like Thanos
Wow.
and the guy.
I didn't know that either. It's funny. So, House Sanchez says Matt Millen, Penn State, Oakland Raiders, Washington Redskins. Rudy. That's a good movie. That's a fun football movie. Man, does that make... Oh, who took over as head coach? The guy from the Packers went to coach the Devane. Man, did that make him look bad in that movie? He was the coach when he finally put Rudy in because Eric Parsegian,
Parsegian was the other guy.
Yeah, he had to retire due to health reasons. I think he had ulcers or something. And he had promised Rudy his senior year, he goes, I'll get you in a game. You know, you've worked hard and we'll put you in a game. That way you can practice all those years as a walk-on. If you don't get in a game or suit up, if you don't suit up, I'm sorry. I think it's if you don't suit up, you don't actually make the real roster saying you actually played. And that was great. That's a great scene when they went in and they put all the shirts down going, he can play for me, coach. He can play for me, coach. That's a good one. Bubba Husky, Temple of Doom was the chapter before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that confused me as a kid, too, when I saw it. Because, like, what is it, like 1936 or something? And Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then it's 1935, I think, in Temple of Doom. And you're like, you know, because it's kind of
strange. Holy cow, you're right.
Wait a second. Thinking Raiders of the Lost Ark, like Indiana Jones wouldn't be like surprised by like magic or, you know, supernatural kinds of things after what happened in Temple of Doom.
I have to go to the chat for a second. Mr. Clinton Parks has joined us. How you doing, our good friend Clinton Parks? Hope you're feeling better. He says, I don't believe I recorded a brilliant game. Mambo. Well, he's not supposed to tell us who wins, Clinton. I'm going to check it out anyway. He says, Mambo wins his second game on a 2-hitter, and it didn't upload. Damn. Oh, that sucks. You know what, though? I had an issue with that the other day, Clinton. It might upload. Just be patient. It took freaking a day and a half for mine to upload. Herd Pilgrim, A League of Their Own. That's another fun movie I enjoy.
I love Tom Hanks and that. He's just great.
But let's go back to Indiana Jones for a second. And again, this is Chat with Al. The reason why I like Dawg on here, he knows the way it goes. We talk about everything, and we go back and forth. Favorite scene, first movie, Indiana Jones, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I throw that to the chat, and I'll let you go first, Dawg, and then we'll go to the chat. Favorite scene. One of your favorites. It doesn't have to be, you know, like.
Oh, I guess the one that resonates with me the most because I used to be like absolutely deathly afraid of snakes. So like the why does it have to be snakes moment? That's kind of it there. You know, like when they get the lid off the roof there, basically, and what do they call that? The
when they're in the
something. I think it was
called. When they have the staff, right? And they
like asp. Very dangerous. You go first.
Yes. Why did it have to be snakes? My favorite scene. One of my favorite scenes. As AU Pac Mule hits it, that's my favorite scene. He shoots the guy with the sword. You know, the guy does all the fancy stuff, and you think. Remember, he kept using his whip, and you think like he's going to use his whip, and he just looks at the guy and goes, "Boom!" That was awesome. That's exactly what you're supposed to do to a guy like that. You do all that fancy stuff, dancing, sword machine, and he just goes, "Boom!" That's the end of you, jackass. That is my. And then another scene, not that far down, he's having a boxing match with a big German guy with a bald head who looks like Mr. Clean, and he looks up and he's like, "I'm sorry," and the guy the propeller just and blood just goes spewing all over the place. Those are some of my favorite scenes.
And he had to turn his head because he knew it was going to look so horrific.
Yep. That's just a great. There's nothing bad in that. Oh, my God. My all-time favorite scene. When the guy grabs the medallion and he burns his hand. The Nazi guy.
Oh, right.
Oh, I was laughing. When I saw that as a kid in the movie theaters, I broke out laughing. Great. There it is.
Oh yeah, when he goes running out into the snow,
and he's trying to put his hand.
That was hilarious.
I think that's one of those movies that just flowed right through the whole thing, entertainment right through. So, again, great movie. If you haven't seen, I doubt anyone has not seen, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or if you have kids or nephews or nieces, they gotta watch that movie if they're movie fans. So, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Absolutely, A.U. Pack Mule, and that's from also Capone. What the hell was that called? Untouchables.
Untouchables?
Yeah. He used a ethnically insensitive word towards Italians, but that's okay. The Raiders of the Lost Ark, they did a similar scene. The Crusade.
The Last Crusade?
Yeah.
The third one?
Yeah, did they do a similar where he goes? Yeah, I'm almost positive it's that one. He goes for his gun and it's not there, and he went,
right.
and he turns and he runs. That was awesome. Again, that's they took the whole thing and they bring it back. It's just funny. Now everyone might get upset with me, but they're not.
A little Easter egg, for
an Easter egg in the second movie, which is actually before you do the timeline, which is kind of confusing. You're right. Which I never even thought of till you guys said that. As Clinton Park says, the Untouchables. In the second one, the one they do in India, Dawg, have you ever seen Gunga Din, the old Cary Grant black and white movie?
Maybe long ago, Al.
Okay. They kind of rip off a lot of scenes from Gunga Din. And I told my two younger nephews this, and again, they don't like to watch black and white movies. I literally made them watch certain scenes from Gunga. I go, what does this remind you of? And they're like, okay, you're right. So anyway,
lead the way, Gunga Din. Remember they'd say that all the time.
Andre Ford has joined us in the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. Herb Pilgrim has a question. As Dawg is a Star Wars, I'm a Star Wars Trek. Just like to mention Star Trek II Wrath of Khan. Fun movie. Now, what a rebound. The first Star Trek movie wasn't that good. I saw it because it was Star Trek, right? The first one, no one ever talks about the first movie. You know why? Not good. It was fun to see those old characters. Can you even tell me the plot? I don't even remember the first Star Trek movie. Wrath of Khan, you couldn't come back with a sequel with a better subject than Wrath of Khan with Ricardo Montalban. Great movie. Wrath of Khan, Star Trek. Bubba Husky, earbuds. Oh, that made me cringe.
I kind of remember the end of the first one when I remember people getting hit by lightning or something.
Yeah, it just...
That was 6, though, or 5. I don't know.
But Wrath of Khan is the one you remember. And then the Spock death. Well, it was very sad. But then they found him again. I didn't mind that when they shot his body off into space. Because it was more like a funeral,
But yeah, it's a classic film. I like Wrath of Khan too.
Wrath of Khan is to bring back that storyline that followed that one episode, which was one of the best episodes, right? Wrath of Khan, original Star Trek. That's one of my favorite episodes next to the Tribbles. Again, that was funny. And then the sword fight. But Wrath of Khan, and then to come back, that's got to be over 20 years later. That was early 80s, right? So almost 20 years later.
Well, I want to say 1982, Al.
So just under 20 years then, because Star Trek ran, 66 to... It
was like 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah, 5-year mission that only lasted 3 seasons. To take that Wrath of Khan, and again, the reruns have been played over and over again when I was a kid, and go, oh my God, they're doing like what happens to Khan, right? That was awesome. One of the best movies ever as a kid. And there's something where they took something that they had and they made it better, right? That was awesome. Why can't other genres, as we've talked many times on this channel that you're a big fan of, do that? Back to the chat for a moment. Herb Pilgrim says, Star Trek remake, sort of, TOS episode, The Challenging Nomad. Herb Pilgrim, 66 to 68. Thank you. Andre Ford says, I think 66 to 69. So we're all in the ballpark there. Moni G's entered the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. Will Magic Man, Star Trek is what did it for me. I was 16 years old when it came out, and it blew my mind. We hadn't even been to the moon yet. Oh, the TV show he's talking about. Yes. So that was actually pretty cool, he says. Matt's jumped in the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well, as he's saying hello to everybody. And
hey, Matt.
So, one more quick thing. We'll go back. Clinton Park says, no, when Khan asked for an answer and Kirk goes, here it comes, and he drops the shield and fires the photons at Khan. Absolutely. As Matt says, hi, and all is well. Thanks.
Moni.
Those are some fun movies I forgot about. My God. Now, again, when you're younger, movies were like, I don't know, me. I know you're a big movie fan, Dog, right? When those the summer movies, you're just, man, I couldn't wait for the summer movies to come up, you know? I used to enjoy that, the big summer movies. Will Magic Man says, Herb Pilgrim, really, and it was made of green cheese, LOL. Matt, Con! The earwig is the grossest. Oh, when they put the bugs in the ears of Chekhov and the other captain guy. Like he's a pretty decent actor. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember the other actor with him.
A.U. Packmule says, not a fan of Cumberbatch as Khan, and that's the guy who plays Sherlock on the BBC Sherlock.
He plays everything.
And he was in Marvel. Again, I'm not a big comic guy, so I apologize, but he was in one of the comic book movies too. That was interesting. That actually wasn't a bad movie, that one. And the way when you find out that he's Khan, that was kind of cool that they brought that back. I forgot about that. That's a good point. Yeah, I still like Ricardo Montalban as Khan. So.
Yep, Mr. Rourke.
Yep. The plane, boss. Come on, that was must-see.
I love that show.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the show that came on before that on Saturday?
Was that the Love Boat?
You are correct, Dawg Sidious.
I want to say the Love Boat, and then after that was Fantasy Island.
Yep, the Love Boat.
I'd probably be falling asleep by the end of Fantasy Island sometimes. So
Fantasy Island could be a little spooky as a kid, though. I mean, it wasn't. Sometimes they did some weird stuff. I'm like, well, I don't like this.
And this is the days before VCRs, I think. So
Yep.
If you missed it, man, you missed it.
Andre Ford in the chat says, I went and saw Jaws, the original Star Wars, when they first came out, talking about major attendances. Yeah. We had talked about Jaws earlier as just a wonderful, that's one of those movies, again, I'll throw it back out to the chat, movies that if it's on TV, I'll stop and watch it. And I usually end up watching from wherever I pick it up, Dog, to like the end. It's just, I love that movie. So, just fun stuff. As Moni G says, yes, it was scary, Al. LOL. All right, wait. Here's a question. Scary. Has everyone seen The Wizard of Oz? I'd have to say everyone's seen that movie, right, Dog?
I'd wager I've probably seen it as many times as I've seen Star Wars.
Right, that's one of those movies that was on every year, and you watch it around. For some reason, I remember it like Christmas and Easter. But how? Okay, I thought the flying monkeys were cool, but come to find out, a lot of people were scared shitless of the flying monkeys. How does the chat feel about that? Were you guys as kids scared shitless of the flying monkeys? Can we say shitless on YouTube?
Yes.
We can say shitless? That's not one of the words we get banned for? Flying monkeys, did they scare you?
Yes.
I want to know. They scared you, Dog?
Yes.
Oh my God!
I'll tell you what, that witch scared me even more. That witch scared the heck out of me. I was like, yeah.
She was scary.
I go through an army of those monkeys before I see that witch.
That witch, I'm going to be honest with you, that scared the poop out of me. I know I said the other word before, but I figure if we say that too many times, Yeah, you're right. The way they made her green, I was like, holy crap, that was scary. And then, you know who's useless in that freaking movie? The good witch Glenda. And I'll tell you why. At the end of Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, you could always go home. You just had to will yourself to go home. And I sat there as a kid and I went, I believe I called her a very bad name that I had just learned, too. And I went, you almost got all these people killed, you blankety blank. And you didn't even, I think she just used Dorothy to whack out her competition. That's what I think. The Good Witch of the North is right up there with Santa Claus and Rudolph from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Santa Claus was not too nice in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I was, again, as a kid, I'm watching it going, wow, you had a camp on an island for misfit toys. That's kind of frightening. You put toys that you didn't like.
Nobody wants to play with a Charlie in the box, so I'm a misfit.
And they put Charlie in the box, right? Charlie in the box, right? In a camp.
Charlie in the box.
They put him in a camp. I remember watching as a kid going, I don't know if I like this Santa Claus. And then they beat the bejesus out of Rudolph, remember? Yeah, we don't like your kind around here. See? I was like, yeah. And then Rudolph, see, this is where, again, I love God and I love Jesus Christ and all that. I don't know if I was Rudolph, I'm turning the other cheek. They're like, can you help us? I'd be like, no.
Right.
Remember when you kicked the crap out of me? I don't think so.
Gonna let that bumble eat you.
Yep. And, you know, years later, Mad TV, and if you look it up, and actually I'll look it up, I'll put it in the chat, and you can take over the show for a bit. Raging Rudolph was everything I wanted to happen to those guys. Have you ever seen Raging Rudolph?
I think so. Was that the Mad TV one?
Yeah. So I'm going to find that link.
Oh, man, that thing is hilarious.
So I'm going to put this link in the chat, and let me say a few things from the chat. Matt in the chat says, Al Red Sox fan, Clark Terrell was the other captain in Wrath of Khan, the African-American Act. Thank you very much.
Right.
He's in a ton of stuff. I just can't, I never remember his name. Clayton Parks, I saw Wicked on Broadway. They played Glenda as pretty much a bimbo. I actually liked that movie with, oh crap, what the hell's his name? I liked it. They gave the backstory on the wizard. I thought it was nice. As
I think you're onto something there, Al, though, with what Glenda was up to. Because
she was.
The Witch of the East is gone. Dorothy's powerful with the.
She killed them all. She killed them all. She became the kingpin. It was a Godfather moment. You know what that was? Game of Thrones, Cersei.
Yeah, right? It was.
Right? Okay. So, back to the chat here. The Abominable Snowman bundles bounce. Yeah, that's right, Andre Ford. So, Dog, you take over the show if you don't mind. I want to find that link and put it in there so people can see it, because that was wicked funny. And as I have to tell you, when I put this link in there, this is what I wanted. You have to understand, when I was a kid watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I'm sitting there going, why does Santa Claus put... And again, if you've watched some of my streams, whether it's sports or this, I'm moderate to conservative. Again, that's just me. I don't care what anyone is. Always treat people nicely. You can have differences of opinion, okay? But even as I'm a kid, I'm watching this going, so Santa Claus puts people in the camp. They beat up Rudolph because he's different, and they ostracize him. Like, I don't like these guys. So, and everything I wish that would have happened in that child's animation, Mad TV did it, and I'm going to find that link.
Right.
And it's
whip this out.
The helm is yours, Dawg Sidious. Let me find this real quick.
I was seeing Herb there. He said he's never sat through and watched the entire Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Because he hated musicals. Wow. I understand that, but
well, I guess that is a musical, right?
VCRs first came out, Al.
The what?
Remember when VCRs first came out? Like, they had the big beta system with the big. I'm
going to tell you, one of the first movies I watched on VCR.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
the Wizard of Oz. That was like the only one I had tape. So like I watched it like every day after I came home from school.
I recorded that because that was new to us. As I'm going to find this in a second. I recorded that, right? just like you did, because I was like, I can watch The Wizard. I bet you I have the VCR recording somewhere downstairs. I can watch The Wizard of Oz anytime I want, and I love that movie. I mean, I guess is it really, is it a musical? I mean, they do sing. I guess it is a musical. Wow, I liked the musical as
Yeah,
a kid.
it's a musical.
Okay, I'm gonna find this, and hopefully nothing plays in the background. Actually,
Oh,
it
the
won't.
Blueberry Girl and Willy Wonka.
Oh,
What do you do when your kid is a brat?
oompa loompa doopity dee. I like both, but I like the original songs better in the Gene Wilder one. Okay, so let me find this.
Oh yeah, Gene Wilder's great. That.
Add TV. Raging. As soon as I do Raging, I bet it pops right up. Mad TV, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I gotta click on that. Let's see if we find this. Raging Rudolph. It is 3 minutes and 37 seconds of pure violence. That's beautiful. I love it. This one's 10:04. They must have put two things together, because I think they did another one a few years later. Raging Rudolph, hilarious animated Christmas spoof of Scorsese films Goodfellas and Raging Bull. Yep, this is it.
Matt just watched Tin Man the miniseries. I haven't heard of that.
I've not heard of that. Matt, what is that on? Okay, this should not play. Let me just.
I remember the laser disc too, Andre. That's funny.
The laser disc was the ones that looked. My friend had that. That looked like a big record, right?
Right.
My friend had Rocky. Man, we watched that every other freaking day. And he had Star Wars. We watched that. Okay, this is Raging Rudolph. I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys have to check this out and tell me what you think. Dawg, do we not have the best chats, you and I?
I think so. I'm enjoying our Saturday nights together, or Friday nights here together.
And we're going to be back on tomorrow with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, talking.
I hope you folks are enjoying us.
We hope so. And we're going to be talking tomorrow with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, another wonderful channel. What got him involved with Sim Sports? So this is Raging Rudolph. Why does the link not come up? Did I do that wrong? Can someone click on that link in the chat and see if you go to Raging Rudolph? What did I do wrong there? I thought I did that right. Oh, I know. Never mind. I messed up. Disregard. Don't click on that one.
How close would a fight between a Star Destroyer and a Battlestar Galactica remake?
There we go. This is the link right here. Battlestar Galactica, Lauren Green was the captain, and he was on Bonanza.
He did Alpo commercials too.
Yes, he did. And he said something that would have got him fired from any TV show. He was at a boxing match. It was ABC used to do, ABC and NBC in the summers and late spring, they actually would do primetime boxing. And on Saturdays, you'd have afternoon fights, right? And they go prime time. And sometimes you'd have boxing, and then you'd go to news, right? Your local and world, and then they go right back to boxing. They only did it a few times. And I'll never forget, I forgot, it was a Mike Rossman. Oh, Leon Spinks, the rematch with Muhammad Ali at the Superdome. I think that's what it was. And they had Lauren Green, and they're interviewing him, right? They got a packed house to see the fight, and they put on a good fight card. Mike Rossman upset Victor Galindez, the Jewish bomber. Mike Rossman, half Italian. Well, he was Italian, but his mom was Jewish. He brought up Jewish, and again, that's a religion, not an ethnicity. He upset Victor Galindez, and so they're interviewing Lauren Green, and he's talking about Battlestar Galactica, and it's never been on, and the premiere's coming up on Sunday. And he made a joke about Dolly Parton's puppies.
Right.
And you would get instantly fired now on TV. Instantly. But it was funny. It was funny. And he was right. She has nice puppies. So anyway. Let's see. Star Destroyer would kill it. I would think so. In that fight, a Star Destroyer versus the Battlestar Galactica. I would think so. They got messed up by the what the hell? What were the bad guys called in that?
The Cylons.
Cylons. And then they came back.
I might be wrong about that, chat.
No, I think you're right. I think they were. Right? I think they were. There was a ripoff of Stormtroopers. They looked more like Darth. They all looked like Darth Vader, for God's sakes. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, they had like the red eyeball. It would like or
yep. So anyhow, if you get a chance, click on the Raging Rudolph. It's very funny.
Cylons until they got to Earth. Then remember all the kid like they all had like superpowers and stuff because they because of the Earth's atmosphere or something. So
did they Battlestar Galactica before they brought it back? Herb Pilgrim joke about Dolly Parton's. Oh yeah, look it up. Look it up. He was at the I want to say it was the Muhammad Ali Leon Spinks rematch. Spinks had upset Ali in front of about 3,000 people in Las Vegas. They have a rematch. They get a really good attendance at the Superdome, obviously. And he made that comment. I remember as a kid watching, going, just laughing. And then you watch it over because I'll watch old fights on YouTube and I just kind of crack up. I go, man, would he get fired? They wouldn't even have shown, but they would have literally took Battlestar Galactica right off the air before it was ever shown. Anyway, Herb Pilgrim says the remake of Galactica was insanely better. I never watched it because I like the cheesiness of the first one. But yeah. As Moni G says, Cylons! And then angry face.
Colons.
Speaking of colons, if you're at the age of blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, Matt, it was different. I don't know about Better, Herb. I never watched it, the new one. Just like I never got in. Dog, did you watch the new Star Trek stuff?
The new Star Trek movies?
No, the shows and everything. No. I never got. No Captain Kirk. I'm not there. Not there. No Captain Kirk. I'm not there.
No, I tried it once, and I wasn't like a big Data fan or anything like that, so I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, because Data was supposed to be like Spock, right? I mean,
I think so. I don't know.
Not Spock. Speaking of that, they're coming out with, I don't know if they already started, but remember In Search of?
Oh, yeah, with Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah. The guy who plays Spock, I can't think of the guy's in the movies. It's going to be the In Search of guy.
I know his name. It's on the tip of my tongue, too.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. I used to love In Search of. Those were cool, too. Does anyone remember In Search of in the chat?
Yeah, he's supposed to produce the new one. Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, he's doing the... Did that come out yet, Dog?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so just yet, but
that's something
I think it's in production. He's supposed to be like a... Oh, it was on tonight, so yeah.
Oh, you packed you.
Oh, it's going.
Oh, you have to catch.
I don't get out and watch too much TV, folks. So,
what was
commercials for me?
History Channel. AU says, what was the subject? Was it Bigfoot? Was it Bigfoot? Was it Bigfoot? Anyway, so before we do anything, though, Dog, do you want to go through what's in the movie theaters now? And what are your thoughts coming up of movies you might like to see?
You want to see what's going on with the box office right now?
Yeah, if you want to do the box office. So Dawg Sidious is going to go through what's at the box office and his thoughts.
Seeing what's coming out at the movies here this weekend. We've got its first weekend. We've got Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. We've got The Meg. In its second weekend. I think that's the new shark film, right? With
oh my God! Okay. Hold right there, and let me read a couple of things in the chat. But that's with the English guy. Yeah. I see it. That looks,
I think, or something.
That looks absolutely popcorn good. As bad as it looks, popcorn good. Andre Ford said there was another science fiction show called Space. Above and Beyond. Anyone seen this? It was pretty good, but only lasted 1 or 2 seasons. Moni G says, I love me some Yeti, too. Oh, yeah, those are always good. Matt, Star Trek Renegades was awesome, too, made by Tim Russ. Herb Pilgrim, space above and beyond was outstanding, and he capitalized exclamation point. One season though. So Dawg Sidious back to Meg. Is it Meg? Like Megalodon.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for that?
I did once.
So you saw when he jumps in the water, Jason Statham, I believe his name is, with a spear gun to take on this thing the size of like 50 feet. It's like it made the Shark Tank a chew toy. That is just looks. I have to. I don't know if I'll go to the movies to see it, but I might use an apparatus to say and try to watch that because that just looks like good popcorn. I enjoy a good
buzz to it. So, matter of fact, let's
give us.
This is its second weekend. Well, it did minus 52% in its second weekend. The theaters didn't drop. I mean, it's not an awful drop. I mean, that's about right, about 50%.
Right, because second
weekend there, it's
because the second weekend usually does drop for most movies, correct? You follow this stuff.
Oh, right. And now, if you see something that drops like over 60%, that's like usually really, really bad. But then I also keep an eye on how many theaters did it change and
right, because that's an interesting point. You brought that up, and I never thought of that. When you say a movie drops, if it's less theaters, then of course it's going to drop. And that's a big indicator that it's not doing well if it starts going out of theaters. As Moni G says, I missed something here. She says, did you know he was an Olympic diver? Who was an Olympic diver? The guy who plays Spock?
Zachary Quinto?
Was he
he was an Olympic diver? I
don't know. I just saw that. I'm trying to. I think that's who she means because Herb Pilgrim says Zachary Quinto. And we're talking about the History Channel. Sinkholes. AU Pac-Meal. That's kind of scary. Sinkholes. You don't want to be in a sinkhole just for the name of it because it sinks. Don't be in it. Bad. Sinkholes bad. What's scarier? Flying monkeys or sinkholes? What if you're being chased by flying monkeys and a sinkhole pops up? What's the good witch Glenda gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. Gonna do nothing. She's useless, the good witch Glenda. Oh, Jason Statham was an Olympic diver. I could see that.
His name wrong. My apologies.
Well, yeah, I think I was saying it wrong too. Statham. I still say it wrong, and she spelled it. Oh, Herb Pilgrim says, don't say sinkholes. I'm in Florida. Moni G says, flying monkeys more scary. Speaking of, I think it was Florida. I think it was earlier this week. Unfortunately, an alligator ate a woman and a dog. Woman was walking her dog, not the yo-yo trick. Was literally walking her dog. An alligator came out of a pond, and I want to say it was about 25 feet, ambushed, took the dog. The lady tries to save the dog, decided to eat them both, drag them both in the water. What do you do in that situation? Alligator comes out, grabs your dog. People, this is sound advice. God rest her soul, because that's an awful story, but let it go. Let the dog go.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was awful.
Yeah, if you're in any place where they have alligators, crocodiles, stay the hell away from the water. They are ambush predators, and they're good at it. That's why they live a long time. So, as Herb Pilgrim says, yikes, true. She walked way too close to a pond. She should have known better. The dog wasn't eaten, though, just the woman. Oh, that sucks. I mean, I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying common sense. I feel horrible. I really do.
Yeah, I have to agree with Andre there.
Sorry, dog. You got to let the dog go. I'm not being a jerk, and I wish the woman... There's a place in Florida, and Herb might know it, where people literally live. Again, Florida's swampland. But
I'm coming back to get that gator, though.
They probably should have. I don't know. That gator definitely... Danger, right? Ambush predator. There's a place in Florida, they call it like gator something, and people have their houses basically, like their houses are little islands, it's connected. You got to be nuts to live there. You have to be nuts. Your backyard is in a swamp. People put fences down there and stuff like that. People who don't have fences, like a woman got killed a few years back. I think it was on the History Channel or something I was watching, like when they used to do Monster Quest. And that was like a real one because gators. And the lady, she's doing yard work. Her house is literally 20 feet from an ambushed predator. And she got ambushed. People think. Herb Pilgrim, he grabbed the woman by the leg, letting the dog loose wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, so there's more to it.
Yeah. Herb Pilgrim happened at Disney World also. Yeah, the toddler got killed. And that was not the first time. That happened in the early mid-'80s or something like that, or the 90s, that they covered up. Moni G, Crocodile Dundee knife, I get me some boots. Andre Ford says they are prevalent in South Carolina also. Yeah, that's one of the most frightening animals to me. Alligators and crocodiles. They're real dinosaurs. You know, like everyone goes, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have dinosaurs come back? No. No, it wouldn't be cool to have dinosaurs come back. Just think of that. Even the ones that don't eat people, right? The ones that eat vegetables or foliage, we'll say, right? Herbivores. Did I use that word right? Herbivores?
I think so.
Now, dog, if we like the whatever, a Stegosaurus. Imagine how much food the freaking Stegosaurus would eat. And people are like, oh, it's cool, dinosaurs are back. No, not cool. Not cool. Would not be cool. Bad. 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 That's like Jurassic Park. People are like, oh, it'd be cool. No, bad. Just look at Jurassic Park. Watch the movie. Everything that went wrong in the movie would probably be 100 times worse in real life because as human beings, even though I love us all, I love every human being. There's a few I hate, but most of the people I love. We're pretty stupid when it comes to stuff like that. Like, hey, let's make a dinosaur. No, bad idea. Back to the chat. Gator or cougar? Well, I've hunted cougar before. Never mind, quiet. Cougars will hunt you. I'm not talking about the cougar I hunted, but cougars will follow a person in the woods and kill them. Yeah, cougars are... I'm going to say cougars are scarier because I think you'd have more encounters with a cougar, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that, Herb. The swamp people. Have you seen that?
Okay. Yeah, the ones that shoot the gators. I kind of feel bad for the gators. I mean, they're controlling the population, but, you know, they catch the gator, they pull the gator close, they take the gun, and they pop him in the head. And I kind of root for the gators, and I know I just kind of contradicted myself, but that's when people are going out of their way to kill gators. I guess you have to do it, though. Thin the herd. Does anyone remember Faces of Death? Dog.
Yeah.
Remember? That was the one. You remember you talking about VCRs, and you get that one friend who goes, "Did you get Faces of Death? Did you get Faces of Death?" And they had that scene where the guy parachutes and he lands in a gator farm. You don't really see it; you just see what's left of the parachute. That had to be a horrible effing way to go, ripped apart by gators, because a gator clamps on and twists and.
Like all those people that went down in that value jet. I wonder how that worked out.
ID Gesture in the chat. Check out that wonderful channel. One of the channels I talked about. And he says, and he's got wonderful. ID is doing a lot of military strategy games, and he's previewing them. So thank you to ID. If you're looking for a military strategy game, check out ID Gesture. He's previewing quite a few of them. He did one on Civil War. I think that was tonight. He's been doing a lot of World War II. And I think it's called Shot and Cannon, I think. Musket stuff. Well, that didn't look right, what I just did. Sorry. ID says, you don't live in Florida then, Al. Gators eat people all the time, not so much cougars. Well, you're right. ID, would you like to come in and join us in our merry chat, Dawg Sidious and I? If you'd like to, just tell me. Herb Pilgrim, James Bond just steps on their backs. That was Roger Moore, correct? Live and Let Die?
I think so. I think that was that one.
Two best themes, in my opinion, for James Bond movies, Goldfinger and Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney.
I like Goldeneye, the one with Tina Turner.
Oh, that's good too. That's good too. That's good too. Ooh, Matt says Roger Moore.
Tina Turner though.
Roger Moore, best Bond ever. I don't know about that. I like Sean. You know, I like the new guy who.
Daniel Craig, I think.
I like him. I'm going to tell you my favorite James Bond movie though doesn't have any of them in it. In the service of His Majesty's in His Majesty's Secret Service or something. Like
George
Lansby or something like that.
Yeah,
Lansby. Lansby. That is my favorite. One of my favorite James Bond. He is married in that one. People don't realize he got married, and they killed his wife. I was like, whoa, that's rough. That's not a good honeymoon. As ID Gesture says, Herb Pilgrim must have asked him something. Herb Pilgrim says, "Yo, ID Gesture, are any of the games you run remakes of Avalon Hill games?" And ID Gesture says, "Similar games, Herb, so check them out." Wonderful channel. You gotta check out ID Gesture. As I'm belching, I'm having coffee belches. Does anyone? You ever get coffee belches at work? I don't know. I'm having belches. As Moni G, LOL Bond. Here's another thing. And they spoofed it really funny in the ones with Austin Powers. When the son goes, "Why don't we just kill him, Dad?" That always, as a little kid, again, watching James Bond movies, I already told you how I felt about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Right? How they were mean to him and stuff. When you catch the guy you want to kill, dog, what should we do to the person? We've caught the guy we want to kill. Why in all the James Bond movies do they sit there and they come up with these elaborate, like, we're going to kill him this way, that way? Just kill the guy. Problem solved. That's all I'm saying. Back to the chat. Moni G says, "I love Austin Powers." ID Gesture, Dog was in earlier watching, so thanks for that, Dog. Dog and I were watching the other night, and he was playing a Rome simulation, and he named a city after me, and it got sacked. He gets me killed in every game he puts me in. I don't think ID likes me. Andre Ford, Avalon Hill was awesome back in the day. Their games rocked. Yep, they did. Title Bout. I have the game downstairs, the original game. Moni G, tell him the plan. Yeah, I never get that. Why they tell, just kill the guy for God's sakes. Shark laser beams. That's right. It would be boring without a plan, Matt says. I don't know. It's just funny. I think my favorite James Bond, though, is Sean Connery. Who do you like as your favorite?
That's kind of a toss-up with Roger Moore and Sean Connery, I think. So I don't know. I guess I'd take Sean Connery over Roger Moore, but there's some of the movies I like. Yeah.
Well, my favorite Roger Moore one was Live and Let Die, but the one in the moon too was pretty good too.
Yeah, Moonraker.
Yeah, so those are my two favorites for that. My favorite Sean Connery one, Goldfinger. Goldfinger had the guy with the hat. Remember?
Oh, Odd Job?
Yeah. He was a great bad guy. Him and the guy from The Longest Yard with the teeth. Jaws. Those are my two favorites.
His name's Jaws. He kills people.
Yes, he sure did. That was the Roger Moore one, though, right? Because then he's jettisoning him out into space.
Yeah, that was Moonraker. That was like one of the corniest lines I ever heard.
Yeah.
When they were chasing him and they're on that tram or something. Yep. I can't remember what they were on, but he was like, his name's Jaws. He kills people. And, yeah.
The original Grognard in the chat says, I do a lot of Avalon strat and tactics victory games on my channel. Yes, he does. Check that channel out. Another wonderful military strategy channel. And he did this really cool thing. He did 3 different games. And original Grognard, feel free to put your link is in the chat up above. Oh, you can't put that's because we only weekend. That's right. Sorry, but his chat is on the page and up above the link to his page. He did a really cool thing. He took 3 military strategy games, played the same battle, and to see how the mechanics worked. That was really fun. I watched that whole. It was like I want to say a 9-part series. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Herb Pilgrim Connery, though unfortunately, is a PIG regarding his attitude about women. I've heard that. Yikes. He's, or at least was, a Neanderthal. ID Jester Goldfinger was a classic. Remember when he caught the guy cheating at cards? That was pretty good. I like Goldfingers. That was good.
I liked him in Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
I remember that. I saw that in a Saturday matinee movie CBS did. I remember that. That's too funny. Holy crap, that is funny. I haven't thought about that in years. Wow. That's a good one. My God, I haven't seen that in years. I saw it. Andre Ford says, original Grognard. Yep, I view your channel quite often, looking for a replay of Third Reich, the board game. I still have that in my closet along with some others. Andre Ford. Also some victory game board games. Original Grognard, did you see Itinerary Hobbyist is playing a game on the Eastern Front? What are your thoughts on that game? That looks pretty cool. Matt says, Live and Let Die, Roger Moore, the best one. My study, okay, was 16 parts. I apologize. I did watch it all. As you know, I commented on all of them. I liked it. He did the 3 different games with the same battle. It was the Israeli-Arab War,
1967.
I think, was it the second one? 67 was the first. Well, they had the original one in 48 when they, as ID gestures, listen to Al talk war games. Wow, it's getting deep in here. I like war games. I play the Order of Battle. I like that one. It's idiot proof for me. So I like that one. I used to love 67 Battle of Abu Aguiela, which I just butchered the last name. And so it was a War of 67. And yeah, they're fun. I always like military. I mean, we played Risk. Again, we started off with Risk as kids. And Dawg, you ever play Risk?
Yeah, I played that a little bit, and I played chess a lot. And
yeah, chess is basically a military strategy game. Checkers, same thing, military strategy game. Chess, a little more in depth. And we played Risk. Then we played Axis and Allies. And do you remember Dark Tower?
Oh, I love Dark Tower.
Dark Tower was the best.
Bring me back.
Yep. Dark Tower. Andre Ford says 48, 56, 67, 73 Israeli-Arab wars. Thank you, Andre Ford. Original Grognard. Yes, I have been watching Todd's gameplay. Good operational game. It looks, I think if I remember right, and I'm paraphrasing his comment regarding that, the game was easier to play, meaning you didn't have to go to a bunch of charts and things like that. I don't think that's important. Where PC games for me have it was, they do a lot of the chart work, obviously, where I don't have to look at charts. But I will have a surprise for the channel. I pulled out my old Fran Tarkinen football game, chart and dice, not really card and dice, and I'm going to play a game on the channel. I just played one while you guys were in Citadel for Trivia, Dawg. When I came back up, I was listening to you guys, right? And I'm sitting there playing, again, wrong, bad motion for the rolling dice, people, rolling dice. Get your minds out of the gutter. Out of the gutter!
Rolling Thanks, dice. Hey, you. Take care, buddy.
Take care of you. Thank you for stopping by. Original Grognard says, there is a web browser game that mimics the old... Really? Did you read that, Dawg? Original Grognard says, there's a web browser game that mimics the old Dark Tower game. Let me see if I can dig it up.
Oh, yeah, I have to check that out.
We're going to make Original Grognard a moderator. That way you can put links. I should make everybody a moderator. We trust everyone in this chat.
You in one of these chats one of these times when he's...
I asked him. He doesn't like us. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
I asked him to laugh, but hey, you, if you're still there, I know you're leaving. Did you kill all the bees? I think you did. So, Original Grognard, I thought I just made him a moderator. No, I did. Okay, good. So you can put links in the chat, Original Grognard. That's pretty cool, huh? Imagine playing Dark Tower again. Have you ever done it?
I'm imagining it right now.
I went online, okay, and we're gonna
play that.
You have any Dark Tower stories? I'm gonna tell you something. That was a fun game. I went online last year because I wanted to buy the game. You know, like you go on, what's that called? Will you bid on it or some crap like that?
Like Amazon or something?
Yeah, whatever. They wanted it. I was like, I like the game. I don't like it that much. That was such a fun. We would play for hours. That was you had the board and you had like the little tower, or the big tower actually. And it was like it was a mini computer. And this was like, holy crap, this is cool. And that was like poor man's Dungeons and Dragons. Not poor man's, but where you didn't have to.
It was actually, but
right? So much fun. Remember the noises it would make in battle?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you'd have you had like a rune and a tomb.
You used to have to go
other spots you put on the board, right? And you tried to get to the tower.
Yeah, you had to build up to attack.
Food and
you had to have food, money. You bought mercenaries, soldiers. You had a Pegasus to fly all over the freaking place, right?
Right.
You had to have that, and then you build yourself up. You had all these little battles to attack Dark Tower, to take it, and if you did that, you won. I remember one of my friends wiping us out, meaning like way ahead of us, getting to the tower, right?
Ooh,
had I want to say at least over 100 troops or whatever that. I mean, I had a lot and got wiped out. We laughed so hard at that person because we're like, they're gonna win. I had never seen Dark Tower with that many whatever the hell guarded them. You know, the person got wiped out. It was funny. That was a great game. Love that game.
Yeah, because then it would rank you at the end of it. You'd want to make sure you got to like 99 or something.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot what you maxed out at.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many troops and all that stuff, but they had the max. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
great game.
Yeah, that was a great game when it came out.
That was just.
Oh yeah, that was Arabia. That's great fun.
Do you remember who did the commercial for Dark Tower?
Was that Orson Welles did that?
You are correct. Dawg Sidious going, gone. Home run.
I have my moments.
You have many moments. That. Who said? Oh, here it is. It's in. So Original Grognard was kind enough to put the link. We're gonna have to check that out, Dog. I'm gonna click on that.
I've actually got the link up now.
I'm gonna click on that.
Another tab anyway.
Yeah, because I want to save that.
But thanks, Grognard.
So you can buy this, or is it?
I'm so glad we had a chat tonight, Al. Look at that. We got
Dark Tower here.
Dark Tower.
Now, Original Grognard, do you trust this site?
I don't know what this thing is.
I'm gonna save that. Done. I'm gonna close that now.
Version.
Yeah, I gotta run a virus scan first on that.
Right.
Before I do anything.
Games or something.
Yeah. If Original Grognard put it in, it's got to be pretty. You know, I'm gonna say it's pretty.
Right. I'm not worried. I got a bunch of. Well, I mean, maybe.
As he says, no, it's totally free. Oh, meaning the game. Yes. Oh, ID gestures. Yes. Trust Board Game Geek. It is the best site on the internet. Oh, can't speak of the link though. I hear you. So again, when you're clicking on links, always be careful. If you can, do a virus scan. But they trust the site. They trust the site, not necessarily the link. So keep that in mind. That's like when I used to do. That's like when I used to do my boxing shows and I do the live commentary and I put the links in there if someone wants to watch. I always say, take these links with a grain of salt. You know, do a virus scan. I don't recommend them. Andre Ford says, Board Games Geek is legit. Okay, we're going to have to check that out. That's pretty cool. ID Gesture. We got to get ID Gesture in the chat one of these nights, Dog. What do you think?
Definitely.
We got to get ID in here. So. I have to say, that Dark Tower, as Moni G says, whoa, I'm feeling some super geeking out right now. I'm loving it. Dark Tower, I tried to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. I just couldn't get into the whole. You got to write it down. You got to have someone be in. Dark Tower, like I think like I said, it was an idiot proof for me for Dungeons. I love that game. Played it for hours. The saddest moment in summer was when the batteries ran out for Dark Tower, and no one had. We had to go buy them, and we had to stop playing. That was
oh. I remember the battery woes. Yes,
because they ran out quick.
Like I was a D&D geek. I'd make up my own dungeons.
Yeah, so you were like a dungeon master, right? But, I mean, you know. See, I did not. My friends tried to explain the game to me. I was like, I still don't. I understood it, but I just like when they got Dark Tower. I go, I like this game better. I'm a visual person, you know. And that was a fun game. Then Axis and Allies came out. That was another game that got me into like military sims. Again, I bought Tobruk. I dumbed it down for myself. You have to understand, I'm a 12-year-old kid, and some of those rules, I try to make it a quicker game for me, and I would play it by myself. Tobruk, that's North Africa, World War II. But the game that got me involved with sports sims, my brother and I would play for hours. The Fran Tarkenton football, which I will be showing tomorrow with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. We're going to be on at 10 o'clock, myself, Dawg Sidious, and Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, 10 p.m. tomorrow, talking sports sims and everything. Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, big Star Wars fan, and I've got the Star Wars expert with me, Dawg Sidious. ID Gesture says, you should play decent Descent version 2 from FFG. It's like D&D, but more board game and less role playing. Andre Ford, Victory Game board games I still have. Fuldo Gap, I think I mispronounced that. NATO, First Battle of the Next War, Air Cav, The East is Red, Sixth Fleet. I've been looking for, we're talking a little military strategy game. I've been looking for a Korean War military strategy game. I found one. Well, no, that was DMBN Fu. I found DMBN Fu, John Tiller. But I downloaded a demo for Grenada, and I still don't get how to play it. I want to buy the DMBN Fu one, but I want to get the mechanics of the game down before I buy it. So, did you like military strategy games, Dawg, or were you just D&D and stuff like that?
I was more in the I want to say D&D. As far as that goes, I can't. I'm trying to think if I ever.
What drew you to that? Like the fantasy realm aspect of that, the wizard, because you like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
Right. Well, what drew me in the D&D was it was the first game I ever played, where you didn't have to have a board in front of you. The board was in your mind.
In your mind. Yep.
So, you're working with your friends and you're creating this story. Really, every it was just kind of cool. You're getting to create your own new adventures. And
so when you watch, did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah, I did. I've seen both seasons.
Yeah. So when you see them playing D&D, did that bring memories back to you?
Brought some memories back. Yep. But yeah, I had a big binder of graphing paper and yeah.
The graph paper, I'm trying to remember. That's how you made the dungeons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have the characters too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The little usually if you want to play, you want to have those with you.
Because I remember I used to go to the hobby store.
Yep.
And I bought my Stratomatic baseball through the hobby store. I bought my Tobruk through the hobby store. I bought another Stratomatic basketball, which basketball doesn't play well for card and dice, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I bought a couple of other games, as well as models. But they had that stuff in there. I always thought that was so cool. And they actually had a day when people would go play Dungeons and Dragons. And behind the hobby store, I don't know if anyone remembers this. He had a dirt track, and they had electric cars, and they would race on the dirt. And every Saturday morning, I would walk there, almost and I'd watch them race the dirt cars on the track as a little kid because it was cool. I mean, they looked like they were big model cars that you raced on this dirt track. It was wicked cool. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Oh, ID Gesture says yes. Read Andre Ford post above. Okay. Get the operational art of war from Matrix Games. So which one's the Korean War? Because ID says read the post above. And again, I found Dien Bien Phu, which is kind of cool. Not really good strategy, Dien Bien Phu with the French. Put 10,000 paratroopers in a valley. Couldn't hold the high ground. And they got surrounded by over 100,000 Viet Minh, they were called at the time. Very fascinating battle. Just, that's one of those battles I've read, I've watched documentaries, used to study as a kid, because I was like, what could you have done differently there? Pretty much nothing. The only thing that could have saved them there was massive air power by the U.S., and that's, I believe they were banking on that the U.S. would intervene. The French were hoping that the U.S., I think they had a wink, wink, nudge, nudge deal that they thought they had, that, like a bunch of B-52 bombers would come and just annihilate the mountainside, because they, and that was 1954 when Vietnam was fighting for their independence. And it's just the concept where they sit there and they go, we're going to put 10,000 guys in this valley, right? And we're going to bait you in to come fight us because we want one big battle. And again, they're thinking they have air superiority, which they did, but big whoopee ding dong. They had old stinky bombers that weren't even mega bombers, and they couldn't hold the high ground. They underestimated the Vietnamese. They didn't think the Vietnamese could get artillery into the mountains, which they did. And I mean, it's just, you sit there and the whole concept was they were so far away from their supply lines that they had to be supplied by air. The airfield got knocked out the very first day of the battle, and those poor bastards were sitting ducks. I want to say they over 40 days they held out.
Sounds about right.
Because I think they surrendered when they ran out of ammunition. That's when they surrendered. They ran out of ammunition. They surrendered. That is just, and they had guys, Dawg, volunteering to parachute in to try to reinforce them. That's incredible to me. The brotherhood. And the legionnaires were not French. You have to remember that. Their officers were French. Legionnaires were non-French nationals.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, just
if you look up French Foreign Legion, there's a reason why it's called Foreign Legion. They're non-French nationals. They had French officers. They probably had some French troops, but they were mostly legionnaires. People who volunteered for that stuff. That is nuts. But it's a fascinating battle to me. That and the Korean War, the beginning of the Korean War with the Pusan perimeter, when the UN forces, basically US forces, get pushed back to the Pusan perimeter and nearly pushed off the Korean peninsula. And then they do the end run where they land at Incheon and they cut them off and they fight them all the way back, and then the Chinese enter the war. My dad, well, I never met my cousin. Obviously, he died in the Korean War. But he had 3 weeks to come home, my dad said. And he got killed in combat. So they always, after that, when I heard that story, I used to read a lot about it, and I just wanted to know more about it when I found out. I mean, obviously, again, I never met my cousin, but those two things fascinate me, just because in the Pusan perimeter, I can't remember the general's name. He ended up dying too in a Jeep, not a Jeep crack, but he got killed. Bulldog something. And what he did finally was he pushed everyone back to the Pusan perimeter, and he goes, now we can't get flanked. Because that's what the North Koreans would just come with wave after wave, and all they did was just flank you, and they'd get behind you, and they'd surround you. And they had tanks. And when the U.S. forces went into Korea to try to stop them, they had World War II surplus stuff, and they couldn't stop the Soviet tanks. You have to watch that. It's called Fire and Ice. History Channel did it. To me, that's one of the best documentaries about the Korean War. 3 years, over 50,000 casualties. One casualty in war is too many for any side, right? War's bad. 50,000 in over 50 in 3 years. Vietnam had 50,000. Again, any casualty is bad in 10 years. Korea was a meat grinder, and to listen to those Korean veterans talk, and that's why, whatever, I'm not going to go political, but stand for the freaking national anthem, okay? You can have whatever political beliefs you want. Stand for the national anthem, please. To listen to these guys talk and say, we had this thing to try to stop a tank, and you're shooting a bazooka, is my layman's terms, and it bounces off the tank. Imagine that feeling of horror, that we just hit this thing point blank, this Soviet tank that the North Koreans are using, and we can't stop it. They literally took troops from Japan, which we were occupying still, and built it back up. Quickly rushed them to Korea to stop the invasion, and those guys were cannon fodder. And they knew that, the commanding officers knew that, they just had to buy time. And they got back to the Pusan perimeter, they couldn't get flanked anymore, and they held out. That's one of the most incredible military achievements in the history of mankind. You got to watch Fire and Ice.
Oh, great stuff, Al.
And again, I'm just saying. Again, the only reason why my dad's, when I heard that story as a kid with my cousin dying there with 3 weeks to come home, approximately, I just want to know more about it. And they don't, they don't call it a war. It's a police action, yada, yada. It's a war. Right. Okay. It's a war.
Bubba says there's a documentary on Netflix about it.
Is there, Bubba?
Well, on a Korean war anyway.
I'll have to check that out. I have Netflix, so thank you.
And we got Herb missing MASH right now.
MASH was an interesting show. Again, I like MASH, one of my favorite shows. A little to the left, that's fine. They had their thing, very entertaining. They did it well, and it was more of an anti-Vietnam War, but they played it off in the Korean War because I like MASH. I love MASH.
Oh, that was a great show.
I don't think too many Korean veterans like MASH, but
right.
And I can understand that too. But a show is a show. Take it with a grain of salt. But so. MASH ID Gesture says top 10 programs on TV. Absolutely. But anyway, I've always been fascinated by the Korean War. And I like military strategy games for the strategy of it. I wish no one would ever have to fight a war. I wish there were never any wars. Unfortunately, they happen. And the Korean War the Korean War came about, 1, it was the Cold War. 2, it was going to happen. But the reason why you have to know your enemy in anything or person that you're in competition with, know the person you're in competition with, okay? The U.S. Secretary of State was discussing Asia, never mentioned the Korean Peninsula. The North Koreans and the Soviets and the Chinese took it as the Americans don't care. Now, they were going to invade the South anyway, and they did it. The other thing is, if you have your ally in the South and you only give them a glorified military police basically, with very little artillery, no tanks because you're afraid they're going to invade the North, what's the word I'm looking for? The reconnaissance, the knowing. They have Soviet-backed tanks, Soviet-backed equipment. You wonder why they just blew through the South Koreans. Not because the South Koreans didn't want to defend their homeland. When you have machine guns and rifles trying to stop Soviet-made tanks, and you had about 20, I want to say it was a ridiculously low number of artillery pieces, of course you're going to get swamped under. You don't ever underestimate, whether it's sports, business, playing a game, your opposition. Never underestimate them. So, as MASH trivia time, what is Major Frank Burns' middle name? Hello, Blade117. I'm sorry I missed you there, buddy. Check out that channel. He plays Fortnite. Am I correct, Blade117? Check him out. Nice young man.
Isn't it like Tecumseh or something like that? Or
what's Tecumseh? Oh! No, Frank Burns, Tecumseh. Oh, God. Frank Burns. Okay.
I want to say somebody had like a Native American name to him.
That
Maybe it was Colonel Potter. It might have been.
I think you're right there. And also, Hawkeye was named Hawkeye because his dad's
that's what it is.
His dad's favorite book was Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. So thank you, ID Gesture, for the trivia question. Let me read that again. What is Major Burns' middle name? Do you mean real middle name or what Matt put in? Major, it's Frank Howard Burns? No.
Ludwig.
I think you're right. I know Ferret Face was the nickname. Moni Jesus starts with an L. The character's middle name. I think you're right, Dog. I'm going with Dog. I'm going with Dog on this one. Delano. Matt says Delano.
Frank Delano Burns.
I don't think so, because that's Delano Roosevelt, and Frank definitely was not a Democrat. Frank was... what was the one you said, Dog?
Oh, Ludwig or Ludwig.
God, that's say it. Moni says there's an L in it. Oh, it starts with an L. I want to say you're right, Dog. For some reason, I remembered it was a weird name.
Louis Lincoln.
Blade, you don't go into timeout unless you say something that puts you in timeout. So don't worry about going into timeout, buddy.
Oh, they got a thing on there, like if you talk so many times within
yeah, that
I got timed out on trivia earlier a couple times.
Yeah, me too. That's different. Yeah, if you punch so many in. Andre Ford. Well, Korea at the time was occupied by Japan at the end of World War II. They were trying to negotiate disposition of it. You are right. And they split it in half, just like they did Germany.
Luigi.
Oh, can't be Luigi. No way. Frank Burns' middle name is not. Matt, who got it right? Let's go back up. Marion. Frank Marion Burns? Is that correct? ID Gesture says Matt.
Have a good night, Blade.
Good night, Blade. Check out that channel. Fortnite. Young man, he plays a lot of Fortnite. Frank Burns. Ferret Face. Do you remember when they made him a mummy? They need to get his blood or something.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah.
MASH Trivia Part 2 from ID Gesture. How did Colonel Blake die? Plane crash, shot down over the Gulf of Gulf of Japan.
No survivors.
Yep. That was one of the first. That in the episode with All in the Family when Edith gets raped or almost. I think she did get raped. I hated when I was a kid. I think I'd mentioned it before in some shit. I wanted to come through the TV and kill that guy. What he did to Edith. That I will never.
Gets away, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I will never watch that episode ever. I won't. But yeah, Colonel Henry Blake got shot down over the Gulf of Japan, right? Or Sea of Japan. They made sure he could never come back to the show. They killed off this character. And the show he went to flopped. He was a doctor or something. I remember that. Mental note for people who leave popular shows. They like your character. Be careful, people who are leaving Walking Dead. Just be careful. Moni G says, Hot Lips Houlihan. And then she says, that was terrible. I think she means either when Colonel Blake got shot down or when Edith got possibly. I hate it.
Sally Kellerman in the
movie. In the movie, yeah. Sally Kellerman. On the show.
Like,
oh shit, who was it on the show?
Oh, Linda something. Not Linda Lavin.
No. On the show it was
Alice.
Oh, on the show it was
Must say it was
Loretta Swift.
Loretta Swift, yeah.
Loretta Swift. As Andre Ford says, yep, Radar O'Reilly reported it. Yep. Correct. He was killed on his way home. Yeah, that was a sad. You didn't expect that. I'll tell you, you didn't expect that. And you remember ID Gesture's obviously a big MASH fan. I like MASH. Dawg Sidious. Do you remember how it ended? That was not an ending I thought. That was like a serious ending to MASH. Very Wow. Herb Pilgrim. It was Henry Blake. It was Trapper John that went to the doctor show. Yeah, Trapper John had, but Henry Blake had a show. It wasn't. Was he? It flopped. I want to say it was on CBS also.
Yeah, it was like Trapper John M.D.
That one lasted, but Henry Blake, he went on to another show and it just flopped.
Ah.
I mean, he made a bad mistake leaving MASH.
What was Colonel Potter's horse's name?
Ooh, Colonel, that's a good one. Radar found the
Mildred, but wasn't that his wife?
Yeah, that was his wife. Radar found the horse.
Winston Churchill, maybe.
I don't know. I don't think it was Winston Churchill. It's a good guess, though. Colonel Potter's horse.
I don't remember.
Andre Ford says, damn, ID Jester, LOL. Did not expect this one. Well, Radar found the horse. I'm answering a question not asked, but I'm answering. What the hell was his horse's name? Was it Lovey?
Trigger.
Yeah, that's a good one. Trigger. That was Oh, now I'm playing like double trivia here. Trigger was it's one of two. It's one of two. They had those two cowboy shows, at the Bijoux, the singing cow. It wasn't Gene Autry's horse. It was the other guy, right? Dog?
Roy Rogers?
Was Trigger Roy Rogers' horse?
I think that might be it.
Yeah. Sophie! Matt's right in the chat.
Oh, that is right. Yep.
Sophie. And Moni G says Roy Rogers. Hot Lips, that was Margaret. Funniest episode. Do you remember Leslie Nielsen was on MASH? And he played a colonel who just had a lot of casualties in his outfits. And they told him Frank Burns was gay. Because Frank Burns was enamored with him. So he came off like he was sexually attracted to him all the time because he was like all on top of him. And they told him, and they told that Margaret had a thing for him. That was one of the funniest episodes. He's like, get away from me. He kept going because Frank would get him. Trigger, Andre Ford says, Trigger was Roy Rogers' horse. As ID Gesture says, damn, Matt, you're the bomb. Original Grognard, Sophie was Potter's horse's name. So, MASH was, that ending was a serious ending. Moni G, do you remember that episode with Leslie Nielsen? Matt says, I watched MASH. My dad loved it. Ah, that was a good I liked it.
Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. You
are correct. Dawg Sidious is correct with that. The question was MASH Trivia Part 4. What does MASH stand for? Dawg Sidious answered correctly. Mobile Army. I just messed up. Mobile Army something hospital.
Surgical Hospital.
Surgical Hospital. Thank you. As original Grognard, who was in the military, also knows that, as well as Dawg Sidious, both served our country. Thank you very much, gentlemen. As Moni G says, yes, I like Men in Gladiator movies.
He likes little gladiator films.
That was not his line, though.
Have you ever been to a Turkish prison? What was that? Turkish prison?
Was it Turkish bath or prison? That was Robert Stack. Billy, have you ever? Well, what the hell was his line? Is that a boy dog and the dog growls? Remember the dog growls at him?
Boy dog.
Is that a boy dog? That was, again, really creepy but funny. I mean, it was creepy, but it was funny. What the hell was the other thing? He asked that kid so many inappropriate questions. Billy, what, do you like gladiator movies?
And the stewardess is trying to get the kid away from him.
Yep.
Oh, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah, okay,
no.
we're good. No, Billy can stay up here. Yeah, no, he's got to go back to his mom and dad. ID Gesture, MASH Trivia Part 5. What did Radar give to Hawkeye when he left?
Oh.
The stuffed bear.
Oh, the bear.
Bear. What the hell? Did the bear have a name? He gave him a bear. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Herb Pilgrim in the chat. What does the blue? You know what, Herb? We're gonna make you a moderator. We're gonna make everybody a freaking moderator. All right. Herb, it means that they can police the chat. They can add links. You really don't want to have too many moderators, but pretty much everyone who comes to my chat, they're okay. But we got to. I don't want to overkill the moderation thing too, but that's what that means. Andre Ford says, speaking of Turkish, ever seen Midnight Express? Oh, Billy. Yeah, I seen that movie. That's disturbing. And they spoof that scene in Cable Guy. I'm not going to do the scene. Have you ever seen Midnight Express, Dog?
Is that Robert De Niro?
No, that is Midnight Run, which is a great movie.
Oh, okay.
Midnight Express, the guy gets caught with hash and turkey. Never get caught with hash.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one.
And the famous scene, the girlfriend visits him and goes, "Oh, Billy." And he's rolling dice, we'll say.
Right.
That's disturbing. Well, that whole movie's disturbing. MASH Trivia. Part 6 by ID Gesture. We need to give ID Gesture a title. What title should we give him? You're a Game of Thrones person. Think like Master of Trivia? Master of MASH Trivia?
Like a small council.
Yeah. So, MASH Trivia Part 6. What was the name of the bar at Rosie's, right?
Oh, boy, that does sound... I think you're right.
Was it Rosie's?
It was Rosie's.
We're on fire tonight, Dog and I. We're on fire. Midnight Express, the theme is awesome. Yes. Movie's disturbing. Good movie. French Connection and Bullet car chase scenes. Awesome. When they're with Roy Snyder and oh my
Bullet
god,
Steve McQueen. That's
Bullet Steve McQueen, Roy Snyder, and holy crap, the guy who was the coach in Hoosiers.
Gene Hackman.
Popeye
Doyle.
Popeye Doyle. Great movie. Great movie. Those were vicious car chase. That's as good as Ben-Hur chariot scene. That's up there. I still think the chariot scene is above it, but they're right there below it. And we're going to talk about Ben-Hur, one of our favorite movies. That's one of my movies I like to watch. Rosie's, Matt says. Andre Ford. Before I got stationed in Turkey, Andre Ford also served the country. Hats off to you. Thank you very much. As well as the original Grognard and Dawg Sidious. Before I got stationed in Turkey, the Air Force made us watch that movie. I bet you never stepped out of line in Turkey. Not a place you want to. As Matt's the man, Moni G sees, MP Fox has joined us. Long time no yak. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining us, MP Fox. We're just talking about a bit of everything. We're mostly movies now, but feel free to bring up any subject within the realm of fun.
Radar's dog back home.
Okay, MASH Trivia Part 7. What was the name of Radar's dog back home? Back up to the chat. Matt says French Connection had the longest uncut car chase ever. That was where they were zigging and zagging between the pillars, yeah, in New York.
And then something like simple, like Spot or something like that, or
I agree with Dog. It's Spot. It's Spot. I'm going with Dog. Never saw the movie. Sounds too scary. Oh, Midnight Express is just, it's real world frightening. That's why, okay. Real world common sense. You go to another country, obey their laws. That's all I'm saying. If you live in someone else's country, adapt to their culture. You don't have to lose your culture, but adapt
Know
to their
where you're
culture.
at.
Exactly. Thank you. You go to okay, if I move to Japan, I'd have to try to learn Japanese to communicate, even though a lot of English is spoken around the world, and I would have to be accustomed to their customs. You assimilate. Assimilate. Big word nowadays. You go to someone's country, you must assimilate. You don't have to lose your ethnicity or whatever, but you have to assimilate, abide by the laws of the land. Spot. Matt says spot too. I agree with you guys. It's spot. Oh, Matt says the car chase in French Connection, 16 minutes. Wow. It was a French Connection, right?
Yeah, with Gene Hackman.
Yeah. Bubba Husky brings up Deliverance. Yes. Deliverance, another frightening, real kind of thing that could happen with scary human beings. And I'm not making fun of people from that part of the country. I'm just saying frightening human beings. Even if you're in this country, know where you're going, people. There are bad neighborhoods. There are bad areas. Understand where you're going. Don't take the wrong turn. Stay safe. Original Grognard says, I lived in Japan for close to 3 years, barely learned any language. Everyone spoke it practically. English, I would assume. Ranger. Ranger was the dog's name?
Ranger was the dog's name.
I like Spot better. Can we make it Spot?
I was close.
Can we change the answer, dog? It's our show, right? Should we change the answer?
Spot Ranger.
I like it. We get half a point. Spoke English. Okay. Thank you, Original Grognard. As Matt says, I cheated on it. Matt, oh God, you don't have to tell us you cheat. We don't want to know it. We want to, you're brilliant. That's what we want, brilliance. Those are all good points. My wife is from Colombia, and when this is MP Fox. Those are all good points. My wife is from Colombia, and when we go there, I do not act like I'm here. No, you have to be respectful. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Be respectful to the country you're in. It drives me nuts. People want to go to a country. I live in the United States of America. You come here legally, right? Point one. Point two, you got to assimilate. I'm not saying to lose your religion. I'm not saying to lose customs, but you must assimilate. That's all I'm saying. Anyhow, back to the chat. Trivia. MASH trivia. Thank you, ID Gesture. We have some neat things that go on with our chats, don't we, Dog?
Yes, we do. Just never know where it's going to go.
You never know. And Dog's like going, shut up, Al. You're going on the verge of politics.
No, not at all.
Shut up. You're going to get us whammied. I think I do it cordially, though. Trivia part 9, MASH. Where did Colonel Blake live back home? Indiana. No. Iowa.
I want to say Iowa for some reason, but I think that's wrong. I want to say that's where Hawkeye's from. But
no, Hawkeye's from Maine. Hawkeye's from Maine.
Iowa?
Iowa. You're right, Dog. Iowa. Radar is from Indiana.
Klinger's from Toledo.
Mudhens, yep.
Because he always talks about Tony Roma's.
Iowa. Iowa. I'm going with Iowa. Matt says, I'm Canadian. Sorry, bro. It's in my nature. I don't know what that means, but I like Canadian. I like everybody. Except the people I don't like.
Somebody's from Iowa on that show.
No, it's Blake. He's from Iowa. Remember? He had the eye on, like, the sweater. Like the Letterman sweater thing, I think. I want to say Iowa.
Illinois?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, Iowa's where Radar's from. San Francisco.
I thought Indiana was where Radar's from. Iowa. Oh, no, Iowa. Okay.
Might be Minnesota. He always had that fishing hat on, right?
Yeah, he did. Minnesota.
Maybe somewhere where he goes fishing a lot.
What did we say was wrong? Iowa? Iowa's wrong? ID Gesture says Iowa's wrong.
From.
Matt says Iowa for Radar. Shoot. What? Indiana. It's an I. I almost positive it's an I. Is it Indiana?
Montana.
No, not Montana. I don't remember Montana. I remember Joe Montana. I remember Tony Montana. Montana. Say hello to my little friend. That was a fun movie. Chainsaw. Never sleep over.
Orange letter on his sweater where he was from.
Indiana.
Illinois, right?
Oh, Illinois. Orange. Illini.
Illini.
Yes. I think after we've surrounded the I states, we got it.
Or was he a Syracuse Orangeman?
No. Illinois. Moni says Minnesota. I think you're right, dog. Illinois. Orange. Fighting Illini. Right? Orange. Illinois.
All right. Yes. We got one.
All right. Cool. Cali. No, not from Cali. Going back to Cali. Going back. Who sang that song, Matt? Going back to Cali. The heels tall.
Oh, is that LL?
Bingo! Home run for Dawg Sidious.
LL Cool J.
Hey, can we do karaoke on this or do we get banned? That'd be a fun.
I think I'm not sure how that works.
Because it's us singing it, right? I mean, badly, but I mean, I sing horrible.
I'm not sure how that works.
I'm going to tweet YouTube and ask them at some point, can we do karaoke? We should be able to do karaoke
night.
That'd be fun. I'm horrible. LL Cool J, Andre Ford. Okay, Andre, and anyone in the chat. What about this? Hip, hop, hippie, don't start rocking it, bang, bang, boogie. Who sings that?
Sugarloaf Gang.
Ooh, you're close. I don't think it's a loaf. It's sugar something. Matt says, good old LL Cool J. I was going to say Kid Rock. Yeah, no, it's LL Cool J. I like Kid. Yeah, no, you're close. You got one word wrong. You have the Sugar Hill blank.
How's a sugar loaf?
I don't know. It sounds inappropriate, though. What are you doing in there? I'm pinching off our sugar loaf. What? Get the hell out of my bathroom! Are you dropping an upper decker? That's gross. What time is it? I've gone over the edge at 12:50. As
I was close.
Andre Ford, Sugar Hill Gang. Yep, love that song. That is like Andre Ford or anyone in the chat. That the original song goes like 7 minutes. Like if you had it on the record, and I had that record, me and my brother. MP Fox. That is what happens after too many sugar cookies. A sugar loaf.
Sugar loaf. Yeah.
Makes sense. We've gone to poop talk now. Everyone loves poop talk. As Moni G confirms, after too many sugar cookies, you have a sugar loaf. Okay, let me think of another song. I think ID Jester's run out of MASH trivia. Bubba Husky, Sugarloaf Mountains is where that Jesus statue is in Brazil. That is a cool statue. I like that statue. I like Jesus. I'm a Jesus fan.
Oh, so Sugarloaf is a thing. Okay.
I just got coffee grounds. God, that's gross. Ugh, I mean, there's worse, I guess, but I like coffee. But I don't like the grounds.
Right.
And if you pay for coffee and you get coffee grounds, that really pisses me off. Oh, shit. That's awful.
What was Margaret's husband's name?
Oh, I know this. Colonel Donald Penobscot. Home run. Colonel Donald Penobscot. She said, who?
I'm answering Moni's question there.
But Margaret's husband's name was Donald Penobscot. And he was the guy who was in Longest Yard. He was a guard. He was in Smokey and the Bandit. She had two different guys play that, though, I think. Two different actors played the husband, which is always funny. I'm almost positive. But one, Longest Yard, great movie. Love it. The original.
Oh, yeah, with Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I love that movie.
Remember, do not hit the quarterback. Again, do not hit the quarterback. We're going to play the guards. You want to play? Yeah, I'll play. Remember Mr. Clean? The karate. That is such a funny movie.
Yeah. Jaws is in it, too.
He broke my effing nose! He broke my effing nose! And he goes, remember Burt Reynolds, that scene? He goes like that. How does it look? It looks good. It looks good. It looks better. He said he's sorry. He says he's sorry. That was funny. Penobscot. Like Darren and Bewitched. I think they did have two actors. I think Matt's saying yep to that.
Oh, like Darren and Bewitched, Moni says. Yeah.
Andre Ford says, there's also a Sugarloaf Hill that was fought over in Okinawa in World War II. The U.S. Marines suffered heavily trying to capture that hill. Yeah, that sucks. Sad face. I did not know that. That's interesting. I never heard of that one. So, another interesting fact. Which character was on? Yes, Radar. He was in the movie.
Right.
I think he's the only character from the movie that went to the TV show. Here's one. And Bubba Husky, and we'll get to that. Best comedy, best football comedies. Here's one. Not MASH. MASH trivia. Name the only actual Korean veteran to be in the TV show MASH. Fought in the Korean War. Was in the Korean War. I don't know if he saw. I'm going to assume he saw combat. Most everyone did. But I don't know what he did. But he was in the Korean War. Name the person who was actually the only Korean War veteran who was in MASH. That's my trivia. Original Grognard says Alan Alda. Nope. Not to my knowledge. Nope.
Harry Morgan?
Nope. If I give you the hint, you'll get it right away. So I'll give you a couple more. Don't drink the coffee out with the ground. Stop. Drink the iced tea. You know what's funny, Dog? I originally in my head go, we'll come out here for like an hour, right? An hour. Never works that way, does it, Dog?
Right.
Is everyone having fun?
Winchester.
Nope. I'm going to give you the hint. You want the hint? MP Fox is correct.
Farr?
Klinger. Jamie Farr, Korean War vet. Look it up just to make sure I'm not lying. But
wow. Yeah, I'll look that up.
Yeah. And Michael Caine also served in the Korean War. Obviously not on MASH. Michael Caine, the actor, one of my favorite actors. I read his biography, and he tells the story where they, in the UK, in England, you had to do Jamie Farr. Yep, Jamie Farr. Look it up. He was the only, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. Alan Alda, okay, original Grognard says Alan Alda spent 6 months as a gunner officer in Korea. I did not know that. So two, thank you.
He entered the United States Army for 2 years, serving overseas in Japan and Korea. Korea was after the hostilities had ended.
He was in after?
Yeah, after the hostilities had ended. So
Jamie Farr.
1955, or after, yeah, it was after his role in 1955's Blackboard Jungle.
Oh, okay.
Then he did, yep, so
that, what I read was a little, he was in Korea, but it was after the war. So I'm going to say original Grognard says Alan Alda spent 6 months as a gunner officer in Korea. Was it during, not that it matters. I mean, you still go there, so.
Right.
The war is technically not over. We hope it's over. So, Jamie Farr, yep, he was a Sheik in Cannonball Run. I loved all the Cannonball Run movies. First one was the best. Okay, trivia question. As Andre Ford says, loving the chat. I'm glad you guys like it. And how many people do we still have? Not that it matters.
God,
I can't see that. Why
11
can't
of
I?
them.
Oh, that's pretty
Thanks for
cool.
hanging out tonight, folks.
Yeah. What the heck? It's early Saturday morning. Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels. Wicked funny. Michael. Oh God, Michael Caine and
Steve Martin. I love Steve Martin.
Remember when he had the switch or whatever the hell it was, and he runs up and he whacks him in the legs? And he goes, "Do you feel that?" And he's just hitting the crap out of him, and he's going, "No." His tears are running down his eyes. Terry Bradshaw. That's right, Terry.
Oh, that's all right. He was in the Cannonball Run, yeah.
All right. Again, we talk about anything with Chat with Al and Dawg Sidious, hanging out with Al and Dawg Sidious and Chat with Friends. Cannonball Run, let's name the people. Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise,
Captain Chaos,
Jackie Chan, Dean Martin,
Tony Danza.
Holy shit, was he in that?
He's in the second one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that counts. Yeah, any Cannonball. Oh, the guy. Oh my God.
Farrah Fawcett was in one of them. I want to say Farrah Fawcett was in one of them. Maybe Adrienne Barbeau.
She was in the first one, I think. She was in the ambulance. She was the patient.
Yep. I don't know if Adrienne Barbeau is the other one. I might be wrong on that, but
no, Adrienne Barbeau wasn't it, because remember the cops would pull her over and she'd do the whole.
Oh right, yeah.
No one wants to see me, I know, but that's what she did. And then she got the female cop who had more cleavage than her. That was an awesome scene as a kid.
Oh.
Man, I watched Maude just because of Adrienne Barbeau. I'm not going to tell you why, but
right on, Maude.
Great theme. Hated the show, but Sammy Davis Jr. Oh, that's right. He was with Dean Martin, two of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, it was kind of like remember that it's a mad world or something. Yeah.
Okay, so Burt Reynolds, the doctor. Remember, he's a proctologist. Where'd you get this guy? Don't you have any instruments? All I need is this. His finger. And that was the running gag. He always had his hand like under someone's nose, and they're like, "Come on, stay away." That was a funny movie. And what made that movie great was, as a kid, you're rooting for me. I'm watching the movie for the first time. I'm rooting for someone to, like, I wanted Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise to win. They had the ambulance, they had Farrah Fawcett, and they had the smelly finger doctor guy. The chocolate monk.
Yeah, I remember the chimpanzee limousine driver. He won the second one, I think. I remember him kissing the guy at the end or something.
Take care, original Grognard.
The first one? Was it the girls that won?
Well, Dom DeLuise would have won, but he saved the dog or something.
That's right. Yeah, and then Burt.
I think you're right. I think the girls won. I think. Yeah. The original Grognard says, "All right, I have to head out. Drop me a line
Thanks, man.
Drop me a line next week to get me in the chat. Stay safe. God bless you, my friend. And we'll get you in the chat next week. We can talk some military strategy games." Peter Fonda.
Oh, they're in there talking Easy Riders.
Was Easy Rider with the scene with Jack Nicholson? With the, "Do you have wheat bread?" Like he wanted a sandwich on wheat bread. And they go, or we wanted wheat toast with his eggs. And they go, "We don't have wheat toast." And he goes through the whole thing. He goes, "You have a sandwich on wheat bread. How do you not have wheat toast? Just put it in." And the woman was, the waitress was not bucking for a tip, that's for sure. And she goes, "Sir, we don't have wheat toast." And he goes through that whole spiel of, "Okay, I'm going to have 2 eggs." Or whatever. I don't know. I'm going to give it my version. I'm going to have 2 eggs, bacon, sausage, and I'm going to have a turkey sandwich on wheat with hold the lettuce, hold the tomato, hold the cheese, hold the turkey. Take the 2 pieces of wheat bread and put them in an effing toaster. That was awesome. I don't know if that was Easy Rider, though, but that was great scene.
What was the ambulance movie with Bill Cosby?
Mother, Jugs, and Speed. Mother was Bill Cosby. Jugs was Raquel Welch. And Speed was Harvey Keitel, who was a police officer suspended from the force because they thought he was a dirty cop, and he ends up getting his, at the end, I think he gets back on the force. And Raquel Welch, I love Raquel Welch. Love, 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 love. Mother, Jugs, and Speed. Because Bill Cosby's partner was a white guy, and they were going to a drug overdose, and he got killed. He got shot by the people they're trying to help. Again, when I first saw that movie, I didn't expect that. He got blown away by a shotgun, I think. The woman shot him with a shotgun and went flying back.
Whoa.
Harvey, a bad cop. Say it ain't so, man. Harvey plays bad lieutenant.
Yeah, Bad Lieutenant. And
that was a disturbing movie.
It was a little disturbing.
Lots of disturbing stuff. The Cubs, the Bears. Oh, my God. Play the lottery. The Cubs, the Bears shows up in the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. He says 5 Easy Pieces was the Nicholson movie with... Oh, thank you. That's a great scene. Again, I probably butchered how it went, but the whole gist of it was they had a sandwich on wheat bread, and she wouldn't make wheat toast. They couldn't make wheat toast. It was a great scene. Moni, how are you, the Cubs, the Bears? Hey, I'm trying to sign a match between you and Ric Flair for the wrestling championship. We almost got it done. So we'll have another wrestling. We do that. Have you ever seen that, Dawg Sidious, when we do that? I made characters of friends of the channel, the FOC, on Fire.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me before, but I haven't. Yeah, I don't think I've got a chance to check out a wrestling one yet. Come to think of it, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't. I think I've got it.
We have tag team champions now. D. Scott Howard and Ken. Oh my Lord! Don't get old. I forget shit. And Ken Castro, tag team champions. They defeated Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard in a slobber knocker. ID Gesture is going to wrestle, I believe. We're signing a match with ID Gesture in a rematch with George the Animal Steel for the United States Heavyweight Championship, which was an epic match, their first one. Do you remember that? As ID saying good night. Thank you very much. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by in the MASH trivia. Bubba Husky.
Does George get the turnbuckle during the...
Oh, he looks just, he has the green tongue and everything. It's wicked cool. He doesn't do the turnbuckle thing, though. It's a fun little game. I don't play it. I just sim it, and I call it like a wrestling match over the top. And we run the FOC, so I'm very biased towards the FOC. Like, we'll hit someone with a chair. And I go, I didn't see a thing. That's perfectly legal. He was just trying to help him with a tooth. You know, I say stupid crap like that. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. Bubba Husky had asked, I didn't forget, he says, favorite comedy football movie. I have to go with the original. I have two. I have lots of them, but two of my favorites are the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds. And would you consider North Dallas 40 a comedy drama kind of thing? I like North Dallas.
I call it maybe a dark comedy, I suppose.
Yeah, I like North Dallas 40, which is based on the Dallas Cowboys.
Scarface. Hey, man, you got a job.
Andre Ford says, watch Scarface earlier. Awesome movie. Scarface was excellent.
That's my favorite scene when he's like, you want a job, Ernie? Or something like that. He's like, hey, man,
after he killed, Ernie was a bodyguard for the other guys.
Yeah.
And Ernie's like, yeah. He goes, you got a job, Ernie. That's a great scene. That is an awesome. You think he's going to, and everyone liked Ernie. So it worked out well. We all liked Ernie. Very disturbing scene. Again, if you have two guys, okay, what they did is illegal. I get that part. But if you have two guys telling them, hey, if we're not out of here, I forgot what the time was, how much time, but within 20 minutes or 10 minutes, I want to say it was like 10 minutes, right? You guys come in guns a-blazing, right? Because they're negotiating a drug deal. The guys, they start looking at the girls, they're not paying attention. So Tony Montana and the other guy, who we call Red Shirt Number 1, they tie up Red Shirt Number 1. You remember that scene, Dog?
Oh, yeah.
Man, was that gruesome. They tie that dude up in a bathtub, and they take a chainsaw to him. And the guys outside who were supposed to come in 10 minutes, they're looking at girls, chatting away. Man, you gotta have reliable people when you say, come in 10 minutes, guns a-blazing if we're not out. So anyway, back to football. That is... Bubba Husky says necessary roughness. I like that. That was Scott Bakula.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. All right, Dog. Let's see if you remember this one. Disney movie. Gus the Kicking Mule or some crap like that.
All right,
remember?
Gus Oyage.
Yes, you do remember it. Oyage. And he kicked the ball. He could kick it like 70 yards. Oyage. As Andre Ford says, let me introduce you to my little friend.
Chrissy.
Chrissy Oldstone in the chat. She says, good evening. We say good morning to you, Chrissy. Hope all is well. Beautiful reading voice, Chrissy of Oldstone.
Chrissy is awesome.
Moni G, slap shot. Absolutely awesome. Hey, I have a question. What's that thing called where everyone... it's a Hangout. It's not Google Hangout. Omenino has it. Fill the issue. Yes, Discord. Now, if we set up a Discord, right, can we all watch a movie together? We can't get whammied on a Discord, right? I mean, we can't record it, but we could watch it.
As long as we're not, like, uploading it. So, yeah, we should be able to. I would think so.
Because, like, again, I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like that. But, like, Skype, you can share a screen. Yep. So can you do that in Discord?
Share screens on Discord also.
With sound? Again, I'm an idiot. Okay.
I think so. Yep.
I think we should set up a Discord for us, and we could watch movies. I know Omenino does that. I mean, you know what it is? I mean, I never go to. I was a member. For some reason, Discord messes up my computer. It slows it down. But I want to try that again. I mean, I didn't set one up, but I think that'd be kind of cool. The Cubs, the Bears. I gotta get back to the chat here. As Chrissy from Old Stone says hello to everybody. Let me go up. I missed stuff. Where did we stop?
We were saying hi to Chrissy and
Slapshot.
The Cubs, the Bears. Best comic football movie was the Bears highlights for the last 5 years. You haven't watched the Cleveland Browns, the Cubs, the Bears.
I'm sorry, the Cubs, the Bears. You have just been countered by the Cleveland Browns highlights.
You have not watched the Cleveland Browns the last 5 years.
Good comment, though.
It was a good comment, though.
As Moni G says, I've heard that is very much possible, Al. About share, like we could watch Slapshot together. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I guess Discord is free. Again, I'm an idiot.
Super Bowl together.
You can?
Sure. Yeah, you can share a screen, so.
That's cool. Oh, Bubba.
Maybe we'll do like we'll watch a movie together or something on here or something, and
yeah,
everybody else like watch the movie at the same time. We can
there should be
like Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can't record it, but we can talk later, and everyone would watch the same thing. So, Bubba Husky does a Gladiator movie thing. We can watch Gladiator.
Oh yeah, we can watch like Spartacus and Demetrius and the Gladiators and The Robe.
Oh, The Robe was good. Underrated movie. Was that was Victor Mature, right?
I think so.
No one knows who the hell we're talking about.
No
one knows who Victor Mature is.
Oh yeah, Victor Mature. That's who it was.
Al, maybe you can get Ken Castro to watch movies on the Discord. I bet you'd watch certain ones. He hates movies. I hope Ken's doing well. I don't see him much anymore.
He doesn't like movies.
Ken hates movies. Ken hates movies. Hates. I think it'd be fun. And there are Discords, and I'm pretty sure it's, again, I'm not the brightest bulb when it comes to this. I think it's free. Yep, it's free. Okay, cool. Love Demetrius and the Gladiators. I like Jason and the Argonauts. The skeletons.
I love that movie.
The skeletons scared the crap. That was good stop animation. That was awesome. But the skeletons scared the crap out of me. Jaws scared the crap out of me worse, but to this day.
The Discord thing, huh?
Where was that?
I was looking at Matt there.
Oh, Matt, please do this, guys. I'm sick of yelling at Flat Earthers, do Discord thing, please. I guess I can look it up. I mean, you just must load it, right?
Oh, for Discord?
Yeah, right?
Do you have the app?
You got to load the app. Okay, I mean, but you.
Or you got to install it, right?
Yeah, it must be like OBS. I installed that.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
be that.
exactly like that, right? And I don't know if you had a Discord before.
I've been members of a Discord. I don't know if I have it somewhere on my computer. But what happened was, on one of the Windows 10 automatic updates that you can't stop, that foobar your computers every once in a while. You know, like you get Windows 10 and every like eighth whatever, I don't know what, like say every fourth update, they do something that completely foobars your effing computer, and you're sitting there going, really? And it takes me, because I'm not the brightest bulb when it comes to this stuff, it takes me 2-3 days to get my computer. Like, why did it mess up my sound? Why is my video card foobarred? Why? You know, and I have to go and lucky I have friends who work in IT at, you know, where I work, the company, and they help me and stuff. But it pisses me off. Jason and the Argonauts, the original one. Yes, love that movie. Flat Earthers, they're the scariest. Dog. What are flat earthers?
Yeah, like my the hard drive I got from this computer I just got last summer, like it's one of those SATA hard drives, so it wasn't doing very well with the updates, so I had to get like another hard drive. But
I've been lucky. I've been lucky, knock on wood, that so far. I had one. I think you had the same issue. I think we were talking, and I said, I think it was you. And you had all kinds. I said, was it that last update? And that was a little while back. That was freaking horrible. You don't want to know, Matt said. I don't know what flat earthers are. Are they dead, flat, flat line? I'm learning the lingo. Heavy metal. I like heavy metal.
I love heavy metal. That was 1982 also, I think.
So I'm... Oh, wait. Moni G says, so now I'm in Looney Tunes land. Bugs Bunny, Christopher Columbus one. That's awesome. That is... You see, I'm an Italian American. That did not offend me. I'm not saying everything's funny when it comes to ethnic jokes. I'm not saying that. But me as an Italian American, when they're eating pasta fazool and all that, I laughed my ass off as a kid. Like that back and forth. Who discovered America, Bugs Bunny? It's just funny. It's funny. Looney Tunes. They should bring that stuff back. And you know what? I'll tell you what upsets me. They always like to bring up people who are PC, who, again, I don't care what your opinions are. God bless you. Be cordial. That's all I ask. With anybody, not just me, with anybody. I read something, dog, and I couldn't believe it was true. Again, I don't give a crap. Someone who thinks this way is a moron, but whatever. So, biology-wise, men and women are different, right?
Definitely.
Thank you. Well, biology-wise, the term used for a woman's reproductive system, or thing, her she.
Her thingamabob.
Her thingamabob. Can we call it thingamabob? Anyway, they want to call it, what the hell was I? Something like front hole. I'm like, what? What? I thought it was a joke, and there's like this whole article. I'm like, oh my God, these people have way too much time on their effing hands. Get a freaking job, you PC weirdos. Pay taxes. Go to work. Obey the law. That's all I ask. That's it. I don't know. You have way too much time on your freaking hands. Not everything is offensive. I'm not lying, dog. I don't know if you're laughing or crying.
I'm laughing over it.
I'm telling you it's true. Because my friend at work goes, hey, Al, because you want to trigger me. And I already read it. I just like, well, whatever. I don't even care anymore. I don't care. Whatever. I'm prepared. That's all I'm saying. I hope it doesn't come to what I think it's going to come. It won't anyway. But really, people hate cartoons. People hate TV. Here's something. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Anyhow,
Yeah, they don't make the cartoons like they used to, Al.
And they bring up
I
the
miss
World
those
War.
old Looney Tunes too.
Yeah, they bring up with Looney Tunes the World War II propaganda cartoons. It's propaganda, you idiots. Don't you think the other side had the same kind of stuff saying mean things about us?
I would think so.
Whatever, but I'm just saying, I like Looney Tunes. I miss them. I own them. We could watch Looney Tunes on the Discord. Any ones we wanted.
Exactly.
We could watch Blazing Saddles and not be reprimanded. We could watch Eddie Murphy with the barbershop Coming to America and not be worried that it's offensive to somebody. Anyway, Moni G says, I love Daffy Duck, Gremlins. Gremlins got the best of Bugs Bunny. I remember that episode. They actually beat, and
Oh, I remember that episode. That was a good one.
Funny episode. Funny episode. Matt says, turn it off. I agree. I don't care. Again, you're whatever. We know where everyone should be, to be honest with you. You can be here, you can be here, right, left. Then you got to work here. Here's a come to Jesus moment, people. You got to work together. You can have different ideas, find the common ground. Don't be an idiot with certain things, whether you're here or here. Okay? Find the common ground, work together. That's what life's about. Oh, God. And again, I'm moderate to conservative. Doesn't mean I hate people. I don't. Though, dog, I get called, like, I don't even tweet anymore when it comes to, I've been called every bad name you can imagine from people I was very nice to. I helped out someone when they're down in their luck, not a Twitter thing. Couldn't pay their, whatever, for their house, right? Right? I helped them, and I would do it again. Why am I? The person, we had a little discussion a while back. They say, who did you vote for? Who do you think I voted for? Right? Voted for Trump. I got called some really nice names from someone who no longer is a good friend. I'm sitting there going, really? Really? My, did you forget when you were down on your luck? Again, I didn't bring it up to them. I just sat there. I chalked it up. A-hole. Bang.
That's a little silly.
Whatever. Anyway, Foghorn Leghorn. Loved Foghorn Leghorn. Best Foghorn Leghorn. Him and the dog were hilarious.
Oh man, when he come out with that and he beat that dog on the butt.
Do you remember the one? Do you want to? The one with the little chicken kid who's like a brilliant, like a egghead kid, kind of.
I'm a chicken hawk. Oh, the egghead.
No, the smart kid. And they were playing hide and seek. And
he's like Simon or Theodore.
Yeah. And he's looking up. He's looking out, right? I forgot the hiding place, but he was like in a
Junior, maybe.
He was in a box or like a something, like a box looking thing. Okay. And the guy goes, he sees the smart kid. He goes, oh, whatever. He looked like the little genius got his calculations wrong, right? And he digs a hole, and all of a sudden, Foghorn Leghorn pops up. And he goes, how did you? Never mind. Funny as hell. Herb Pilgrim. Anybody here ever take the world's shortest political quiz? No. Egbert, Foghorn Leghorn calls him.
Yeah, he calls him Junior. That's right. His name's Egbert.
You ever see the one with the punch drunk chicken? And like they ding the bell, and he's just like,
oh yeah, he just gotta start fighting.
Yeah. Chrissy Oldstone goes a little modern with Looney Tunes. Space Jam, which actually was funny. I like Space Jam.
That was a good film.
That was, you know what, for a more modern one, that was good. But Chris, you got to watch the old ones. I'm not talking about the propaganda ones.
Roger Rabbit, remember that one?
Okay, I like the cartoon. I liked his wife. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Oh, Jessica Rabbit?
Yeah, I liked her a lot. I would marry that cartoon. Though I don't know if you could trust her, but God, it'd be fun. Anyway. Okay, so Bugs Bunny, right? There was one beep beep. Hated him. I don't know why I hate the Roadrunner, but I hate the Road. I rooted for Wile E. Coyote all the time.
Oh, I did too, Al.
Did you ever see the one where he actually catches him?
Yeah,
No
and
one,
then they cut it off.
and he puts the sign up. He goes, "What do I do now?" And he lets him go because that was his Ahab and the White Whale. He caught
Like,
it.
yeah, they didn't understand the time we put in watching, just waiting for him to finally catch this Roadrunner, and he finally does. And
as a
that's
little
what we
kid,
get.
as a little kid, I jumped up and went, "Oh my God, he caught him!" I was so happy. As Matt says, I think about Jessica Rabbit. Ditto. Who was her voice?
Catherine
Turner? No,
Turner,
Catherine.
Kathy Turner. Yep.
Okay.
Kathleen Turner, excuse me.
Yeah. Very voice there. Tweety. I didn't like Tweety either.
I always rooted for Tom against Tom and Jerry too.
I always did too. Character I hated, Woody Woodpecker. I hated him.
Well, he was one of my favorites, I think.
You liked him? He was too annoying for me. Tweety, I grabbed him and throwed him to Sylvester. Herb Pilgrim says he would grab Tweety and throw him to... Oh, very underrated Looney Tune cartoon. They would team up characters, right? Porky Pig and Sylvester, when they go to the house with the crazy mice trying to kill them, and Sylvester's constantly saving Porky Pig, and Porky Pig thinks he's trying to kill him. That is tremendously funny.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendously funny cartoon. I don't know what it's called. We could look it up. But Heckle and Jekyll. I remember them. Heckle and Jekyll. Yeah. They were
was that Merry Melodies or something? Or no, that was a different one.
Heckle and Jekyll was like an after school. I remember were they with
Walter Lance and Woody Woodpecker, those guys?
I think so. They were with Deputy Dog. That wasn't that one, right? Wild E, stop using Acme. Yeah. My friend beat me because I kept saying I rooted. This is obviously I'm older and we're talking. I'm at a previous company. I was probably in my
Chrissy can't stand Tweety.
I know I'm not a big Tweety fan. I liked Sylvester. I mean, yeah, he was a cat. He wanted to eat the bird. Okay, big deal. Anyway, you and I just said, Dog, we rooted for Wile E. Coyote, right?
Right.
My friend goes, all he wanted to do is eat. He wanted to survive. I'm using like my kind of bizarro logic, right? Because I hate.
Heckle and Jekyll were with Casper. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's all right. Yeah. Casper, the friendly ghost.
I think so.
That, again, for me, that was an afternoon cartoon when you came home from school. That was like one of the ones when I came home from school. So Wile E. Coyote, I says, he just wants to eat. And my friend turns to me and goes, Al, he buys all that stuff at me. I go, yeah, because he wants to. He goes, why don't you just buy some food? I'm like, okay, you win. So, Herb Pilgrim, ever see the one with Porky Pig completely destroys his home with their shotgun trying to kill a mosquito? No, I would have loved that one. I saw the one where Porky Pig has a mouse. He buys the cat to get rid of the mouse. The cats get drunk. He gets a dog to get rid of the cats. The dog gets drunk. He gets rid of a blind, and then he always goes back. It reverts all the way back to a mouse to get rid of an elephant. It just returned full circle. Windy Witch. She was like a cute little witch, though. Wasn't she like a redheaded cartoon character?
Casper's girlfriend or something. Or his crush.
No, so that was Casper. Okay. Spider-Man 1967, best cartoon. Oh, Johnny Quest. The original Johnny Quest. I like those. Those were a little violent.
Oh, yeah. That was the first cartoon I remember people died.
Exactly.
Like those stakes involved.
Remember Gargoyle? The Gargoyle guy?
Oh, right.
Remember Johnny? He'd sit. That's scary. Oh, my God. My favorite Johnny Quest, though, was a spider thing, and there's tanks are shooting at it. They couldn't stop it. It was like a mechanical. They went to steal the plans or something. Of course, Johnny Quest. They had Race Bannon, Dr. Quest, Johnny Quest, Haji, and Bandit, their dog.
That's Spider-Man 1967. I used to watch that a lot too. Love the Spider-Man.
One of the worst, most disappointing cartoons for me as a kid. As you know, Dog, huge Planet of the Apes fan, right?
Oh, yeah, the Planet of the Apes cartoon.
When they ever, and I watched it. I enjoyed it, but I'm sitting there going, no one dies in this cartoon. I mean, it's Planet of the Apes. Someone should get, it's Planet of the Apes. It was, they actually can find them on YouTube. They missed out on, I get it, it's a cartoon. They could have made it better. Johnny Quest, Andre Ford says, was cool. I danced to Go Go every time. You mean Go 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 for, oh, is that Go Go Speed Racer? They used to go, go, go for Indians. Go, go, go. Go, go, go for Indians. Go, go, go. Matt says
yeah, Go for Indians.
Yeah, with that was with Chumley.
Or Go Go Gophers or something.
Something like that, yeah. Matt from Matt says about Planet of the Apes, you're right, you are, was so boring. I know, it should have been so much better. I love the 2 TV shows. And I liked the TV shows as a kid. Here's one. You remember Space Ghost with Herculoids and that stuff? Herculoids!
Space Ghost and Blue Falcon and Dynomutt.
Oh, that was funny. That was Blue Falcon and Dynomutt, but Laugh Olympics. I used to watch that and like that was a sport when I was a kid.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Star Trek cartoon was slightly better. I liked the that was not on the level of bad like Planet of the Apes. I don't recall. I enjoyed that Star Trek cartoon. I liked the Star Trek cartoon. Bubba Husky, if you like old cartoons, watch Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and the Venture Brothers. That's when Cartoon Network would take the old Hanna-Barbera superheroes and they did like Space Ghost Coast to Coast where they gave him a talk show. And like the people he would fight, he made them, he captured them. They had to work as production people on his show and they hated him. That was actually funny on Cartoon Network, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It was like a spoof. He would do a talk show. And I remember he had Danny Bonaducci on one time. And the standard gag was, what's your superpower? And, no one had superpowers. He was like, oh, you're lame. He was a horrible sport. And the bug guy, I think the bug guy was like his music guy. And the guy who wore that mask thing was his producer. And they couldn't leave because he had them in prison there. That's what was funny. They hated working on the show. He goes, when are you going to pay us? That was a standard gag. He never paid them. It was kind of funny, especially when he knew what Space Ghost was. My question was, for Herculoids, how come the husband always left his hot-looking cartoon wife home with, and Gloop and Gleeper like, yeah, we'll stay home with her. You ever, are you just that dumb? Moni G says, yuck, I hate Planet of the Apes. The movie scares me. Oh, great movie. Love that movie.
Goat Boy.
Goat Boy. Okay. We're most useless, and we're coming up on, well, we're supposed to do like an hour. In my mind, we're going to do an hour, and we're coming up on like 2 in the morning. Do we do this wrong? Do we do this wrong? Do we go too long? I don't care.
I don't know. Did we go too long, folks? What do you think?
Should we stop? As Andre Ford says, Goat Boy was hilarious. Okay, here's a few old ones. Andre Ford. Kimba, the White Lion, Ultraman, Speed Racer, Spider-Man, Johnny Sacco. And I remember Speed Racer, Spider-Man. I don't remember Johnny Sacco or Flying Robot. Kimba, the White Lion, I sort of remember.
Yeah, Kimba, the White Lion rings a bell.
That one sort of, as Herb Pilgrim says he has to go shortly, though. Well, we're going to have someone play the part of Herb Pilgrim then. Most useless superheroes on a morning cartoon. We'll say Saturday morning cartoons. I already know who I'm picking. I'd
say the what was it Zan from Wonder Twins?
That's what I was gonna say. Form of an eagle. Form of water.
Yeah.
You know what I would have been like? Form of Superman.
Yeah.
Form of strong person. They were. I never got the Wonder Twin. Wonder Twin powers activate. I'm like, oh God, why?
Yeah, she can do any animal, and then he can do any form of water.
That is the stupidest. Then, before them, the original Super Friends had these two stupid, like, pre-teenage kids who just wandered around and followed the superheroes, and they would wear the boy would wear like a towel around his neck. I'm not making this up. Look it up. I'm telling you the truth. They had no superpowers whatsoever. I'm like, they're gonna get killed. These two idiots are gonna get killed. They never did though. It was a Saturday morning cartoon. Magneto from Spider-Man 1960. Yeah, but isn't Magneto a bad guy? Or maybe he's a good guy.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, he's pretty much a villain.
Okay, I guess we can go stupid villains too. Johnny Bravo. Oh my God, that was
depends on your point of view, I guess.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo was funny. He always did his Elvis thing. That was on.
Oh, Johnny Bravo.
The Cubs of Bears says, "You guys are great hosts. And we're gonna talk White Shadow. And that's a basketball show, but I know the Cubs of Bears and Andre Ford. We talked about that a long time. It was great. I just saw a picture of that. It was like some sort of No, it was on Twitter. Someone said it was one of his favorite shows. I love that show. Anyway, the Cubs of Bears says, "You guys are great hosts. Don't bother me. The videos last longer than some marriages." Very entertaining. I am up anyway watching. I hate when the chat moves because it throws me off. Not that it moved far, but I can't. Okay. I'm up watch.
Pirates and Brewers are in the 15th.
Ooh, on MLB? Oh, crap. The thing's way over there. I ain't getting that. Too far. But plus, I'd probably jinx it. The game will be over. I like the kid from the Transformers, such a liability. Moni G says, yeah. I'm telling you, look it up. The original Super Friends morning, the cartoon they had before Zan and whatever the heck their names were, the Wonder Twins. Zan and Gina. They had these two kids follow them around, and the boy would wear, and they had a dog that wore a cape too.
And Gleep the monkey.
I like Gleep.
Oh, you talking about the dog with a cape? You talking about Crypto?
Do you remember that?
Superman's dog, Crypto?
No. That was a real super dog.
Oh, okay.
I'll find it. I'll find it in the chat.
Have a good night, Andre. Thanks for coming on.
Take care, Andre. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. We'll be back on tomorrow night with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, and we're going to talk some sim sports games and some Star Wars. He's a big Star Wars fan, and I have Mr. Star Wars with me, Dawg Sidious. Thank you very much, Dawg Sidious. Herb Pilgrim. Al, if you scroll up even slightly, the chat won't move or just remember, scroll back down. Gotcha. Gleep, Moni says. Later, Andre.
Does that to me sometimes. Thanks, Herb.
Yeah, I'm reading, the thing goes, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, then you get that blue arrow, and you can just pop it. Hit that again. Grape Ape.
Okay, if I was Grape Ape and people were picking on my friends, that's what I'd do. Why was Grape Ape afraid? Why was Jabberjaw afraid? Jabberjaws, whatever. He was a shark. Josie and the Pussycats. They had a cool theme. I like that theme. Yeah. So Aquaman's a pretty useless superhero too. Don't go in the water, folks. Can't do nothing to you. Throw some salt on him. How do you like that, Aquaman? Grape Ape Crush. I like that. I like what Matt just did. He took Grape Ape and Solomon Grundy and combined them to make Grape Ape aggressive. Grape Ape Crush. I have to admit, I like Solomon Grundy. I just like when it said Solomon Grundy Crush. And remember Bizarro? The stupid Superman guy?
Yep, Bizarro.
Me, Bizarro World. Inspector Gadget. Captain Caveman. I like Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman.
Oh yeah, Captain Caveman was the best.
Remember Hong Kong Phooey?
Oh, definitely.
Wasn't it the cat that always saved him?
Yeah, I forgot what the heck his name was though.
The cat always saved Hong Kong Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey was like.
Then you take Hong Kong food, take the credit for it.
Yeah, Hong Kong Phooey was like the Inspector Clouseau of cartoon character. Well, they had a few of those.
Man, I know what that cat's name is. I can't remember it now. I'm gonna find it.
The cat used to always save him. Dawg Sidious looking up. We've now moved to the cartoons. Number one super guy, Bubba Husky says. Oh, I missed something. Club.
Catman Crothers.
That was his name?
No, the cat's name was Spot.
Really?
Really?
Huh.
Yep.
We should have thought of that. We named Spot Radar's dog. The Cubs Bear says, I'm a tad older than all my cartoon.
Yeah, he's a striped cat, but his name is Spot.
Kind of funny. The Cubs of Bears says, I'm a tad older than all my cartoon watching goes back to Rough and Ready, Top Cat, Mighty Mouse. I remember Mighty Mouse. Crusader Rabbit. Don't remember Crusader Rabbit. And he says, great tunes. Best cartoon theme was Thundercats. Never watched it.
I like Star Blazers. That's my favorite.
My favorite cartoon theme on a Saturday. This is it. Hit the heights.
Oh, yeah.
That means Looney Tunes was on. Oh, yeah. Looney Tunes, baby. That was like the third incarnation of Looney Tunes. Hong Kong Phooey.
Came out in color. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Cartoon trivia question. First cartoon. I think you're right. Fantasia. No.
Oh, it might be.
Was it Fantasia? No, I think, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Dog. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, God, Fantasia sticks in my head, though. But Snow White. Yes, I agree with Dog. Snow White. I'll read it. Cartoon trivia question. Name the first cartoon that came out in color.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it might be Bambi.
Matt says Bambi.
I'm thinking Snow White came out.
Came out first, though, Dog.
I want to say Snow White was before.
I thought Snow White came out.
Oh, yep. Popeye. Could have been it. Who asked this question? Oh, this was Herb's question.
Herb. The Cubs says the Cubs the Bears says Herb. Yep, just barely though. So what was the answer? We missed the answer.
Oh no, Herb's gonna tell us eventually.
Okay, I think it's Snow White. I think it's Snow White. Oh, for a feature film. For a feature film. Oh, Herb Pilgrim says cartoon series. Oh, cartoon series.
Flintstones.
Yeah, but Looney Tunes was in color before. Oh, for a series though.
Ooh.
Is this a trick question? You might be right though. Is this a trick question? Because Looney Tunes were at the movies. Does that count as are we talking TV series? I think he just means cartoon series.
Colonel Bleep.
Colonel Bleep. Who's Colonel Bleep? I don't remember Colonel Bleep.
I remember Jeep from Popeye.
What was Colonel Bleep, Herb? Look up Colonel Bleep. All right. Dawg Sidious, you have the helm. I'm looking up Colonel Bleep.
All right, you're on it?
Yeah, Colonel Bleep. So, it's so wonderful to have a host.
Pop-up chat goes down. What else we got going on here? We got, what's your favorite animated movie from Bubba?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like, well, that comes right up, Colonel Bleep. I like the one with Ed Asner, Up. I love that movie. I like Up.
I guess 101 Dalmatians is probably my favorite.
Colonel Bleep is a British cartoon character, first drawn, blah, 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 blah. Bleep, pompous, of course, aristocratable, Geonistic, stereotypical British. This sounds funny.
Yep, goons did come from Popeye. Alice the Goon.
Okay, that's interesting, Herb. Is there any pictures of it, though? I see a security of Colonel Blimp. I said
Disney's Hercules is Chrissy's favorite. That was a good one. I like that one too.
I like Up. The thing with Disney movies, well, Hercules is different, but like the early ones, they always killed a parent, mostly the mothers. It was sad. I can't watch Dumbo to this day. I can't watch Bambi.
Do you remember Wizards? Like Ralph Bakshi? Wizards and Fire and Ice?
No. I like Up. I like Up. I know it's more modern. When I was a kid, I like I guess this counts. I think it was a movie. The Robin Hood with the fox. I like that one. Well, that was a Disney. Looney Tunes.
Robin Hood.
Looney Tunes never really had a movie. I mean, Space Jam. I like Space Jam. Watership Down. Not for kids, people. Even though they market it towards kids. Watership Down. If you haven't read the book or seen the cartoon, it's quite disturbing as a child going down thinking you're going to see. Again, we liked it. It was violent rabbits.
Yeah, Watership Down
was vicious.
Amazing. Yeah.
Great story. I mean, great story.
All right, Matt knew what I was talking about with Wizards.
Wizards are awesome. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you might want to check that one out.
Al. Wizards? Is it just called Wizards?
Yeah, it's like a Ralph Bakshi film. He did like the Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh, I like those. You mean the cartoon ones?
Yeah.
I like those. We talked about those. I like those.
Yeah. He did one like I believe it was called Wizards. There was another one I think it was called like Fire and Ice, I think.
Moni G, Lady and the Tramp. I did like Lady and the Tramp. That's a good one too. Cartoon movies. I like Up. I like the whole story.
Yeah, I liked Up also. That was a great one.
To be honest with you,
Beauty. I like all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I mean, there's sad ones too. I don't like. I mean, I like them. I just don't watch them over. I don't watch
the Aristocats.
The Aristocrats. Why can't I think of any?
Like Ava Gabor in it or Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah, Zsa Zsa. The one who was on the one who was on Green Acres, right? Zsa Zsa.
I think that was Ava. That might have been Ava.
I think it's Zsa Zsa. I mean, the one who's on the Aristocrats, I think.
Yeah, but then on Green Acres, I think that was Ava, if I remember right. But
Green Acres is the place to be. Wally was good too. I liked Wally. Yeah, that was a good one.
The Fox and the Hound.
Oh, that was a cute one. I like that too.
So sad.
Again, I don't like sad cartoon movies. It's strange because I want to laugh at cartoon. Though Up was very. I didn't expect the first. Up was incredible because the first 10 minutes you go from these two little kids, they become, they love each other, they get married, this and that, beautiful relationship. They can't have kids, unfortunately, and they're planning this big vacation, but something always comes up with life, and they have to always tap into their vacation money, and finally they're going to go, and his wife passes away. I was like, great movie, though. I love Up. Felix the Cat. That was a movie? Wasn't that the stamp? I remember you used to get these stamps and do Felix the Cat in your hand or whatever. I can't think of any more animation. Why can't I think of animation movies? Wally, Up. I know there's a. Oh, I like I like the one with the little yellow guys. Despicable Me. Yeah, the first one.
Despicable Me or something.
I like that one. That was great. And I like actually the Minion movie. We find out about the Minions' history. That was cool.
I think I just saw the second, like Despicable Me. I never saw the first one, but I saw the second one, I think.
Matt, it was X-rated cartoon. Yeah, well, I'll pass on the X-rated cartoons.
I remember the Rescuers.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
The Rescuers were yeah, that was good. Oh, Secrets of Nim.
Oh, that's a
That
fantastic
was a
one
good
too.
movie. Winnie the Pooh never did. I liked it, and they're cute. Not the best. I always thought they abused Eeyore. How did his tail get ripped? I want to know. What the hell did they do to Eeyore? They watch Deliverance? What the hell did they do to Eeyore? How do we know that Winnie the Pooh's nice? Just because he talks nice? Those are the ones you got to watch out for. Didn't they do one, like a Sherlock Holmes one too, with mice? Or am I going nuts?
Oh yeah, like the Great Mouse Detective or something.
I liked that when I was a kid too. I always liked Sherlock Holmes. I read all the stories. I watched all the old movies with Basil Rathbone. I watched some new movies with Robert Downey Jr. and the guy who plays Watson, who's very good. And he was actually in a Sherlock Holmes Jeremy Brett one, the guy who plays Watson. And now I can't think of his freaking name. It's gonna
I
drive me
can't
nuts.
either now.
I can see him. That pisses me off when that happens. And I don't want to cheat because that drives me nuts.
I'll cheat for you.
All right, you cheat for me.
Jude Law.
Yes, Jude Law. He was actually
I was like, he's somewhat well known.
Yeah, he is somewhat well known. He was in a Jeremy Brett episode. Jeremy Brett was old BBC one. I love those.
Oh, he was in that Civil War movie too. A while back with
the cannibals.
Was that
the one where he went to the outpost and those people were freaking nuts?
Yeah, that was sick.
That's the one with the bear trap, right?
I think so.
Oh yeah, those people were.
I can't remember the name of it, but
here's another thing.
Better look it up. I'll tell you now.
Ravenous. Is it Ravenous?
Oh.
Ren and Stimpy. I liked Ren and Stimpy. First cartoon that ever farted in a bathtub, Ren and Stimpy. The dog farted in the bathtub. Look it up. It's true. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, the dog just farted in the bathtub. My mom thought Ren and Stimpy. No, it was not a child. It was funny because it was on Nickelodeon, marketed like a child's cartoon. Was not a child's cartoon. Was not a child. It was funny as heck. Moni likes Sherlock Holmes with Cumber. I like them all. I even watched the one on CBS where Watson's the woman. It's okay. I don't watch that one a lot. Not that I dislike it. I'm just saying I don't watch it a lot.
Cold Mountain. That was the movie I was trying to think of.
Oh, that's different. That's different. I'm sorry. There's one with this guy. I think it's after the Civil War. Ravenous was Guy Pearce. Thank you. Okay, Bubba Husky. Man, that was vicious. Dudes were like cannibals. It was there's a bear. Oh my god. If you ever show up. Okay, so there's me, Dawg Sidious, Moni G, Bubba Husky, Herb Pilgrim, the Cubs, the Bears, Matt, Chrissy of Old Stone, and who else is in the chat? Well, anyone else in the chat? I'm scrolling up. If I missed you, I apologize. So we show up at a place and we're supposed to help people or whatever, and they're all nuts. We're all going to take a quick vote, and we're going to vote to leave. I don't. Just leave. Let the nutbags kill the nutbags.
Get out.
And yeah, houses get out. We're all leaving, folks. Like, say if Moni G says, no, let's stay. We're going to say, Moni, drink this, knock her out, and we're all leaving. And we're taking Moni. We're not leaving anyone behind. We're just getting out. I watched this movie. It was this French horror movie. And it was loosely based on, this really happened in France. Like back in when they thought there was a werewolf, it wasn't a werewolf. I guess they came up with it was a trained hyena. Some guy trained a hyena to kill people. That's one of the theories. And they actually dispatched the army to try to figure it out. And this movie's sort of loosely based on that. And you can actually look up what I'm talking about. Like look up French werewolf, and I think you'll come across it. And this was like back in the Louis the King days, right? And so they based this movie on it, where they send these hunters, a group of like 5 guys, and they go to this village to help these people. Brotherhood of the Wolf. I think
Thanks, Bubba.
That's the name of the movie, right, Bubba?
I think so. I think
good night,
right.
Good night, good morning. So it was a pretty good movie, right? But they show up at this town or this village, and these people are whack jobs, right? I mean, they don't want to help him really. And I'd be like, you know what? We're out of here, folks.
All right, Herb.
As Bubba Husky says, the beast of Jesus Boudon. J. Boudon.
Boudon.
Yeah, it's a real story. And they figured, I think one of the theories was the guy trained a hyena because he stole one from the circus or something. But it's a real story. You can look it up. I mean, they dispatched the freaking army to find the werewolf because it was killing people. Matt's seen it. That was a killer movie. A lion. Okay. Now, I'm not lying. They dispatched, in real life, they dispatched a military unit because people are just saying there's a werewolf out there and stuff to go kill whatever was killing the people. So, something like that. But this movie is loosely based on that, the Brotherhood of the Wolf. Man, we show up there, Dog, Herb, Bubba, Chrissy, Matt, whoever's left in the chat, the Cubs, the Bears, we show up there, and these people act like whack jobs. We're out of there, folks. I don't give a shit about them. Let them all die.
We got stuff to do.
We're out of here. We didn't come here to get killed. We came here to help you, and you're not helping us. We're gone. You're on your own, folks. Bye-bye.
I got trivia on Friday nights, man. I can't be dying.
No, exactly. I just thought it was an interesting concept because I'm watching the movie. My friend goes, Al, you're going to like this movie. He goes, I know you don't subtitles, and that doesn't bother me, right? He goes, and I remember coming in and go, when they got to the village, right? Town, again, whatever the hell it was. 10 minutes into I'm saying there's something wrong with these people. There's something really wrong with these people. I'm like watching the movie going, get the hell out of here. There's something wacky about these tobackies. As Bubba Husky says, the film's a political religious satire with monsters and King Fu. I think he means Kung Fu. I don't know what King Fu is, but King Fu could be a form of martial arts.
Could be a new type of Kung Fu.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
you've heard of Kung Fu.
Great, what I call a Kung Fu martial arts movie. Maybe you guys have seen it. Oh God, the Axe Gang. What the hell is that called now? One of the gang was called the Axe Gang. Now I can't remember it. I love that movie. I own it. The Axe Gang. All right, I gotta look this up. Because this will drive me nuts. What the hell was that called? Kung Fu Axe Gang.
The Ripping Friends, huh? Gotta check that out. Matt's saying there, if you like Ren and Snippy, check out The Ripping Friends.
Kung Fu Hustle. Great, fun martial arts movie. Comedy, action, lots of death.
Is that the one with like Chris Farley or something?
No. This is a real martial arts
movie. This is an older one, right?
Kung Fu Hustle. It's 2004.
Okay.
Hong Kong. Chinese martial arts. Great movie.
I might have seen that one, actually.
Kung Fu Hustle. Great. The Axe Gang does this dance thing in the beginning. And it's just, they're bad guys. It's just a good movie. I root for the good guy. Actually, I like the good guys because they're the kind of good guys I like. I don't like squeaky clean good guys because they get people killed.
Beverly Hills Ninja, I was thinking of.
Oh, I remember that. That was Chris Farley. My favorite Chris Farley movie was the one, I think Farrah Fawcett's actually in it. She marries Brian Dennehy, who's his dad, to take over the business. She's what the hell is that called?
Oh, that's Bo Derek.
Oh, Bo Derek. Yeah.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy and what's his face is in it too. His brothers don't shake hands, they hug. Rob Lowe's in it.
Yeah. And David Spade, fat guy in a little coat.
Suit, yeah, or a little suit. Bubba Husky says underrated martial arts flick is Bun Ruka. I also like The Good, the Bad, the Weird which is a takeoff on The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And I think that's a Korean movie. And it's not a Western. They base it on when the Japanese invaded Korea. And it's they're going for the gold and stuff. It's same movie concept. Another fun movie. Good zombie movie. And I got to watch the end of it because I never watched the end of it, but I enjoyed it. Last Train to Busan, but they say Busan now. I guess they changed the pronunciation. It's Busan, even though it looks like a P, and I always pronounce it Busan because as a kid reading about the Korean War, they called it the Busan Perimeter. Tommy Boy. So, well, what time is it? What are we doing here?
It is
almost 2.
Yeah. 2
Moni G says, I hate zombies. So we're going to... Alan Shaw has just joined us.
Hey, Alan.
Hello, Mr. Alan Shaw. How are you doing? What projects do you have going on, Alan? Alan's always got something going on around his house if he's not traveling for work. Alan's a good guy. Alan's a moderator extraordinaire. New zombie movie coming out by... I wrote this down. I actually took notes. We didn't last long on the notes, though. We never do.
Oh, yeah. I want to check out that movie you're talking about, Al.
J.J. Abrams, Overlord. I'm going to put the trailer link in the chat. And it starts off like a World War II movie. And
I'll get it for you.
Oh, you're going to... Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's Overlord. Do J.J. Abrams Overlord.
Okay.
And again, has some... It's a movie, so don't take it as historic. I mean, obviously the zombie part, but I mean, like, certain things are not historically accurate. It's a movie, people. Don't get bent out of shape. Bubba Husky says, Bun Ruka has Josh Hartnett, Woody Harrelson, and Ron Perlman, who's got that big face. He was in Beauty and the Beast, right? Like the real version.
Wasn't that are you talking about the TV show?
Yeah, Ron Perlman. He's like a big guy with that face.
Yeah, he's like a Hellboy.
Yes, that's Ron Perlman. I believe. Yes. Alan Shaw says 86 Met replay. History Maker and RWB Scram. Oh, Red, White, and Blue Racing. So those are his little... tomorrow, Alan, we're going to have... I don't know if you'll be around because the time difference is 5 hours there, right? Yeah, UK is 5 hours from East Coast of the United States. But we're going to have Chris from Stratomatic Delaron with myself and Dawg Sidious at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bless you.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk some sim sports and some Star Wars because Chris is a big Star Wars fan, and so is I got the man all things Star Wars, Dawg Sidious. As I keep banging on the table, which shakes the camera thingy there. So this is the link to Overlord, correct, Dawg Sidious?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't. I heard
you
talking about it, and it sounded kind of intriguing to me.
Check it out. Everyone check it out. Or Dawg Sidious, check it out and tell me what you think. I'm going to watch it again myself. So this is a J.J. Abrams. God, don't play any sound. Can you hear sound?
No, I got it muted.
Oh, okay. But can they hear sound? Can you guys hear sound? I'm going to get freaking whammied. I don't think they can hear sound. I don't. All right, let me pause this for a second. Let me go back to the chat. God, not a commercial! Oh my God! How many freaking commercials? Really?
Yeah, this looks amazing.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. Oh crud! I think I shut down the chat. Hold on, people. I did something stupid. I shut down the chat. God, fudger, Al.
No sound.
They can't hear it. Good.
Zombies. Moni doesn't like zombies.
Okay, so if you if this isn't your genre, I get it, but it looks kind of cool concept. Zombies with soldiers, I'm in. Okay, they kind of ripped off every World War II movie, but let's pause that. We don't need to see me. We got the chat back up. The chat's still here. Good, good. No sound. Good. I don't think, yeah, with the Google Hangout, I don't think you get the sound of the desktop, so that's good. They will whammy you for anything. It's hilarious. I don't need any help getting whammied. I can do it all by myself.
Right.
So, what did you think of it? It looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a big, huge zombie fan
I know,
myself.
yeah.
Like I like the zombies on Game of Thrones because they got swords and axes and stuff. And
yeah, they're more like Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, exactly, Al.
You know? So, but it looks pretty cool. I'm in. Me and my friends are going from work. I think that comes out in November. Then they have that Sherlock, the spoof on Sherlock Holmes I wanted to talk about briefly. And that's with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. If you don't know John C. Reilly, he was in Gangs of New York. He's a great actor. He can do comedy, drama. Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is a highly underrated movie. Boogie Nights is a great movie. Touchy subject matter. I get it, porn industry. But it's a great movie. Funny, dramatic. And you don't want a wife like Nina Hartley. That's all I'm saying. So, excuse me. Again, so this Homies is a Sherlock Holmes spoof with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and they were very funny in Step Brothers, and they were in Talladega Nights, and a few. So that should be a good fun movie. Amber Waves. Oh, Moni G's seen that movie. Yep, that was funny. Boogie Nights, excellent. Dirk Diggler. Yep. And what's funny about that movie, Boogie Nights, because of the subject matter, I remembered how they marketed it. They marketed it as a comedy in the beginning. Everything they showed, yes, Burt Reynolds was in it. That was a big comeback role for him, and he hated the movie. He actually got upset with his agent, but that was his comeback role. He was excellent in it. And they marketed that like a comedy until the movie actually came out. It was like a drama with comedy in it. It was an excellent movie. You know, it was an excellent movie. Reed Rothschild. Yeah. Reed Rothschild was John C.
Rockwell.
Yep. It was a good movie. Again, the subject matter is not for everyone, but it was a good movie. It was entertaining. Very good movie. Burt Reynolds was excellent in it. The woman who he was like married to, who was Amber. I think she was Amber Waves. I think
Amber Waves. Yep. And they had Roller Girl.
They had Roller Girl, who was nice.
Heather Graham.
Yep. It was a good movie. It was Don Cheadle was in it. Don Cheadle was in it. I'm almost positive.
He was the cowboy guy.
Yeah. Yep. The funniest was the guy who OD'd. He played Truman Capote.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah, Scott. What the hell was his name?
What was his name? And yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, when he ever had that scene in the car, he goes, "You like my car?" Yeah, and he dressed just like what's his face, Dirk Diggler. And you're sitting there going, "You always thought a little something odd about Scotty." Not that I cared, right? And he's dressed exactly like, thank you, William H. Oh, William H. Macy was Nina Hartley's husband, and she got what was coming to. Man, you don't want a wife like Nina Hartley. That's all I'm saying. Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's dressed just like Dirk Diggler, who and he goes, "You like what I'm wearing?" And he's just like, Dirk had drank a little too much. He had drank a little too much. He goes, "You want to see my car?" And he has the same exact car. "You want to sit in my car?" And then he makes a pass at him, and he's like, "Scotty, what the hell are you doing?" "I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry." I'm like, I was just laughing. I thought it was
Yes,
funny.
she was, Alan.
Alan, wasn't Roller Girl Melissa Shagala? Yes. Roller Girl. It was a good movie. Subject matter, not for everyone. Good movie. Got nominated for a lot of things, didn't win because of the subject matter. Heather Graham, yep. Underrated movie, very good movie. Music, unbelievable. The soundtrack, unbelievable soundtrack. You know it's a good movie. Has anyone seen? I highly recommend it. Shoot. Nice Guys came out a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That movie, you want to talk about a comedy drama, more comedy, but still, how many people got killed in that movie?
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of something else. I was thinking of The Other Guys.
That's a good movie too. Will Ferrell.
That's the one I was thinking of.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
You remember The Rock and Samuel Jackson are in the movie the first 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away in case, but that was and you know what? That is a movie that had a ton of political overtone, right? And rightfully so. They hit it right on the head. It was basically about a financial scam, and at the end of the movie, the guy says all these things are pyramid schemes, and they did it so well, and it was a comedy. That to me, that brought me back to like Blazing Saddles when they did political statement satire movies. So, but Ivana Humpalot was a Russian, I think. Yeah, that's Austin Powers. But Nice Guys, great movie. Russell Crowe and a guy who I never remember his name, but he's in a ton of stuff. And it's about one guy's a detective and one guy's like an enforcer. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Thank you very much, Bubba Husky. Are you at work, Bubba? Hopefully you're not at work.
I think I did get to see that one.
I enjoyed that movie. That was my type of. They mixed like an old school kind of detective movie with 70s theme music. And again, it revolves around the porn industry, the adult film industry, because someone gets murdered. And it's a political statement movie. As Bubba's home, excellent. I'm glad he's home. So I like it. I've watched that over and over again. They do now you've seen, and we're going to end probably in a little bit. Abbott and Costello, has everyone seen Abbott and Costello? Well, in Nice Guys, I don't know if Bubba Husky's ever seen Abbott and Costello. When the guy falls down the hill, when they're investigating to see, have you seen this girl kind of thing, and they're at this party, an adult film party, you know, because a trailer party or whatever you call a movie premiere kind of party thing, and the guy falls down the hill because he's drunk, and he finds a dead body, right? And they do the whole. If you ever seen an Abbott and Costello movie, like say Meets Frankenstein, we just he can't talk. They do to me a homage to Abbott and Costello because they have that scene where he's trying to call out his partner Russell Crowe, and I just think it was funny. I thought it was a great movie. Hey, Abbott. There's only I forgot the trivia question, the answer, but there's only one movie where they go by Abbott and Costello. And we could look it up, but that's a big that's a trivia. My favorite Abbott and Costello movies. We're going to end with this, I guess. A couple of minutes of Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello meet the Invisible Man. That was a boxing one. It was great. Anything where they did with monsters, I loved. Abbott and Costello goes to Mars. You know, they make fun of those movies, right, Dog? Like people, they're not real movies, but they made you laugh. I compare those movies to like when Adam Sandler was making his movies, and people are like, oh, they're horrible. Like, yeah, they make money and they make people laugh. Making people laugh is a good thing.
There's nothing wrong with laughing.
Yeah. I'll tell you this though, the Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein had again. They threw a woman gets thrown out. Now, grant you, she's evil, but they chuck, not them, but the Frankenstein monster chucks a woman through a window. And I, as a kid going, that's cool. Not that you should throw people out a window, but I'm just saying I didn't expect that. Laurel and Hardy, excellent. Laurel and Hardy, the one where they're on the boat with the convict who escaped, and they have no food, and they're making this fake food, and he makes them eat it first. Laurel and Hardy ahead of their times. Three Stooges. Laurel Hardy. People, they don't know what they're missing because they don't like black and white shows or movies. Oh, it's black and white. What is this crap? It's good stuff. Not all of it, but it's good.
Like the vaudeville.
Yeah,
type,
good stuff. I mean, the Three Stooges wrote a lot of their stuff, or came up with a lot of their own stuff. Laurel and Hardy, you want to talk about getting the short end of the whatever the deal, raw deal, the shaft, whatever the F you call it. Laurel and Hardy were under contract to Hal Roach. Hal Roach Studios. You also had the Little Rascals. Okay. And
Our gang. Yep.
yeah, the R Gang, because I think that's what they originally started. I don't even think they were ever caught me, and then they went to whatever, the R Gang Little Rascal series, right? Laurel and Hardy. So again, they're a team, Laurel and Hardy. Hal Roach, again, there's no. Nowadays, you have royalties. Is that what it's called for the episodes, Dog? Royalties?
Yeah, residuals.
Residuals,
yeah.
Yeah. So, as the Cubs and Bears said, Stan Laurel was an absolute comic genius. Absolutely. Laurel and Hardy. So Stan Roach, great bit. Not the nicest people to the people he employed when it came. He kept them under separate contracts where they came up at different times. Very good move on his part, but they could never negotiate for more money because he was like, "What are you going to go? You're going to go to another studio? People want Laurel and Hardy. They don't just want Stan Laurel, right?" Then was Oliver Hardy. Where are you going to go? Another studio? People want Laurel and Hardy. They don't just want Oliver Hardy. And all the money they made for that guy, he didn't get. Same thing with the Three Stooges. They didn't make real money. They only made money when they did the original episodes. They got paid for their acting. Putting on the Ritz. The Frankenstein. That was awesome. And the Three Stooges made money with those movies they made in the 60s. And, they're not the best, but they're enjoyable. Anyway, Hal Roach, great businessman, but you can treat people better than that, in my opinion. That's all. Young Frankenstein, tremendously funny. Best scene for me is still the... God, so many good scenes. I like the soup scene with Gene Hackman. When he kept pours the soup in his lap. Worst name ever, Peter Boyle.
Oh, and he's got that test patient or in the beginning, and he does that thing. He's like, hey, pass him an extra buck or something.
Yeah, because he kept nailing him in the nuts.
Yeah, he's like,
that was funny. That was
give him an extra $1.
Oh, give him an extra couple of bucks. Igor. Yeah. My name Dr. Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein, and he goes, yeah. Well, my name's Igor. Remember his hump would move? Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
That's a funny movie.
What hump?
What was Cloris Leachman?
Frau Blucher.
Yeah, Frau Bucher. Whatever, you just said it. Frau Bucher. I can't even say
Blucher.
Frau Blucher. If I say it fast, I'm good.
I need the horse freaking name.
Yeah, that was kind of funnily disturbing. No matter what you hear, do not open up this door. Open the door! Open the door! Open the door! And then the classic. What name? I gave you a name for the brain. What name? Abby. The name was Abby. Yeah. What was the last name? Abby something. What was the last name? Abby Normal. We put an abnormal brain into this guy.
7-foot Hulk or something, or gorilla.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. It's good to laugh. It's good to laugh. Too much. It's good to laugh.
I hear you there. Put the candle back.
Yeah. Oh, that was the squish, right? The squish when they were lifting the. That was, oh my God, that was funny. As the Cubs, the Bears says, oh my God, there's so many. All right, so how do we do this Discord thing? We just download an app, Dog?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to.
Let's take a quick little chat thing here. Would you, if Dog and I, and what we're gonna do eventually is we're not gonna just do this exclusively on this channel. We're gonna do some stuff on Dog's channel, and Dog, you can do it.
Updating.
We can do it whenever we want. We don't have to. I know you told me you want to wait a certain time, but whatever. If you want to do these on your channel too,
Sure.
And the thing is, The thing is with this, and I'm going to go through it real quick. I'm here to. This is original. I like talking to people. Shocking, right, dog? I don't shut the hell up, right? This is though also to promote people I like and are fun YouTubers. Are any of us the biggest YouTube channels? No, I think the biggest YouTube channel on here would be Phil the Issues Guy, and he's very nice. We're talking. God, why did I mess this up? What the? How did I mess this up, people? Why can't I see this anymore? What the fudge? Oh, Al. Okay.
It's been a while since I've been on. I got to remember what I got a Biotic Flux and I got a Dawg Sidious one.
I used to love you as Biotic Flux. So again, we're obviously Dawg Sidious, my partner. Check out his wonderful channel, All Things. God, I can't talk anymore.
All Things Star Wars.
All Things Star Wars. Mr. Hey, Paper Chase, what the hell was that guy's, the phrase, Mr. Oh, shit. Well, John Gilgood.
What's his name?
But he said Mr. something. Remember that? The Paper Chase? No one remembers.
The E.F. Hutton guy.
Yeah.
John Hutton or something? Or John...
John Gilgood. But he used to say Mr. something. You know who's going to know this? The Cubs and Bears, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I got it. In the chat, he'll have it. Anyway, let me read off these things before we end out. And Mr. Hart.
Definitely
I told you he'd know. Oh, we didn't talk about White Shadow. Son of a God. All right, let me do this first. We did it in the beginning. We're going to do it again. We did it before, and we'll do it again. Dawg Sidious, wonderful Star Wars, all things Star Wars and entertainment. Link is provided above in the chat. I don't know how far you can go up, but it's also on the page. If you're not subscribed to it, I would greatly appreciate that you do subscribe to it. Check them out. Wonderful stuff, Dawg Sidious. Broke Black Man 94, movie, TV reviews, live recaps, reactions, or recaps and reactions. Live, not live. He doesn't go. He goes live on other people's channel. Ken Howard, rest in peace. Oh, is that? That's why they were tweeting this stuff out. I didn't know he passed. Did he just pass away? The Cubs, the Bears. That's why they were tweeting that stuff out. I just saw, oh yeah, I like that show. And I said, oh, I love this show. Oh man, I like Ken Howard. Anyway, God rest his soul. So we have Dawg Sidious, as I stated. Check him out. Broke Black Man 94, another wonderful channel. JD, PlayStation 4 games. He dies last year. Okay, maybe it was the anniversary of the show or something. Thank you, the Cubs and Bears. JD, Game of Thrones, PlayStation 4 games, UFC, Dragon's Age. What's Blazing in Sports, Boxing Talk, Higher Ground Gaming, Retro Sports, Card and Dice, PC, mostly PC. ID Gesture was here earlier. We had a good time with ID. Hopefully we can get him on one of the shows. He's a fun guy. I like ID. Military Strategy, Sports Games, RPG. Stratomatic Delaware, Chris will be on tomorrow. Once again, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, Dawg Sidious, and Chris from Stratomatic Delaware do a little baseball, sports sim talk, and some Star Wars and some other things. As we know, Dawg, do we ever stay on script?
No. But I don't think we mean to, so.
Yeah, we have fun. RNG IDP with Craig, more Card and Dice Sports, Baseball, Soccer, Espo Strat Network, Card and Dice, Tabletop Baseball Plus, Retro Sports, Card and Dice, Mosley Boxing, another good boxing channel, Omenino, Video Games, lots of fun, good friend from Canada, Omenino, Elin from EO Sports League, again, Retro Sports, PC, Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony, absolutely wonderful. Anthony has so much fun knowledge with just the bios he brings up about the old-time athletes and, retro sports, great racing, soccer, baseball. Johnny Indie Boots, Johnny the King, Game of Thrones. He'll just make you laugh. He'll make you think. Good stuff there. Max Cornelius, Action PC, Baseball. Tribes Fan 879 gives updates on his retro sports gameplay. He just finished up the 1967 Mets. AU Pack Mule was in here earlier. We got to get him on at some point. Love AU Pack Mule. He does like a talk show basically when he does it. Dawg Sidious was on his channel, and he did a great job with your. You did a great job on there, dog. With
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Clinton Parks, retro sports, baseball. Mr. Utah Mike, big knowledgeable baseball fan, Stratomatics. Citadel for trivia. Self-explanatory trivia. Citadel, Game of Thrones, other things. Dawg Sidious is always rocking and rolling on there on Friday nights. You've won that a few times, I think.
Yeah, a few times here and there. Yeah.
Original Grognard says he wants to be on with us next week, he thinks. So that's going to be fun. If you never checked out that military strategy channel, and I'm sure he's going to have some fun stories. He was stationed in Japan, so he'll share some interesting things with us, hopefully. No matter what, nice person. I like to consider him his partner in crime, itinerary hobbyist, another military strategy channel. They do some sports, but mostly military strategy games. Christy Oldstones, beautiful reading voice. Check out her channel. She'll read, and it's great.
Amazing reading voice.
She did that poem from Lauren about being on the bus. Have you listened to that? Lauren, I don't remember the channel name, but her name's Lauren, and she's a Game of Thrones fan, and she read Lauren's poem. It's absolutely wonderful. The riding the bus and just like the whole thing about riding the bus. I don't do it justice. Just go there, listen to it. It's amazing. John St. Baptiste, he does like a music thing where he has a theme and he has links to the music so you can listen to it on YouTube. Check that out. Appa Replay is a blog site or a website like, and he does card and dice and some PC baseball replays, and he basically writes articles about them, and that's an enjoyable. I like to read them. I like it. And Lady Wolverton's Den, Game of Thrones, and another fun channel. Anyone else you'd like to add, Dog? If I left anyone out?
Not at the top of my head tonight. I think we got everybody that was in the chat here tonight.
Yeah. Comics with Bueller, who just joins us as we're coming to an end.
Yep.
That's a fun channel too. Comics with Bueller. I should add him at the bottom of one of these. Comics with Bueller, and he's one of the another nice guy on YouTube. You want to talk about how can I put it? Like, he did a video where he was saying, how do people thumb down other people's videos? And he just did it so funny. You have to see it, but I like Ben Hogan. Hello, Ben. You know, when I hear Ben Hogan, I think of the golfer.
Hey, Ben.
We're coming to a conclusion soon. As what the heck? It's 2:20. Dog. We did another marathon, my friend.
Yes, we did. Oh yeah, we're going on. How long did we go? 4 hours?
I think so. And so the things we discussed, go back and listen to. No, I'm just kidding.
You'll be able to go back for 2 hours until it processes. But
yeah. Anyway, but we're gonna. I think I like that Discord thing, like a movie night. Other people have done it. I like to do it.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. We'll get you set up, Al, and then we'll.
I think it must be like downloading OBS.
Yeah, exactly. It's all it is, basically.
So, Alan Shaw, Taco Bell. Last time I had that, 1997, when I was in St. Louis. Did you get your stomach pumped? It's not that bad, but who's eating Taco Bell? Is Comics with worst place? This is what we'll end on. You know, like if you went out to bars in the day, or if you still do if you're young, you always like wanted to go eat after. Worst place ever you ever ate.
White Castle, right outside of Tiger Stadium, right across the street from Tiger.
Dawg Sidious. Dog, because you know why? You don't forget that, do you, dog?
No.
That is because you did not have a good experience. And bad food experiences, Denny's, the one I went to was, I'm not saying all Denny's are bad, but Denny's, awful. you don't forget bad food experiences. Moni G says Matt has a theory. It's just what's a YT? What's YT mean?
YouTube.
Oh, conspiracy. 1 and 2 thumbs down thing. You should never thumbs down anyone. I've only done that twice in my life. Twice.
I did it for Ghostbusters 2016 trailer because I wanted to see it get 1 million dislikes.
I agree with you.
And I did dislike the Star Wars Resistance trailer just so I could be a part of it.
So, but I've matured, so I don't do that. I only did it twice anyway. And they deserved it. I think one of them was a Tide Pod thing. Why? Why? I was dummy enough to
like about it.
I was dummy enough to watch it, right? I don't get that. The other thing is like people eating food slurping. Get millions of hits. Again, I don't give a shit, but who? Okay, so there's again. I get the shtick. I'm not stupid, right? So they have a woman eating like noodles or something, and she's slurping. I saw someone else talk about it because I refused to look it up. Just like some guy told me, I forgot where it was. I think it was on Phil the Issues guy one time. And they go, some guy got 1 million hits just for opening an umbrella, right? So I went to look for it. And like as soon as I hit the thing, I go, I just contributed to this. Some guy just opened an umbrella and he's got 1 million hits. You know, it's just like, wow. So, but anyway, I don't know. I think that was one of them. Was that eating the Tide Pod things or something? I don't know. Stupid. Anyway, I think we're going to, I don't know what else. That's about it. Oh, Ben-Hur. God, we didn't talk about Ben-Hur. Tomorrow night, Dog. You want to talk about Ben-Hur too?
Tomorrow night or maybe the next time. So
yeah.
That's what's great about the stuff we don't get to. We can always go back to it the next time, huh?
Yes.
I hope everybody had fun. So
the Cubs and Bears says, great fun. It's only 2:30 a.m. and time for, what's your late night snack? A P.S. Was in Chicago last week, had great White Castle burgers. Another Burt Reynolds film. What was another Mr. Baseball. Mr. Baseball has a scene where they're slurping noodles. Tom Selleck was in that. I actually didn't mind that movie. That was like he went to Japan to play baseball. I remember that. Ooh! High Road to China. I like that movie. Did you ever see that, Dog?
High Road to China. Oh, yeah, with Burt Reynolds?
Tom Selleck.
Or Tom Selleck, I meant. Yep.
Yeah, Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck was the detective guy, right? Didn't he have a detective TV show?
Oh, yeah, Magnum P.I.
That was the guy then. Yeah, Tom Selleck. Smoke. Look who shows up. You should have been here earlier.
Bandit, of course.
You should have been here earlier. Hooper. We talked about Cannonball. We didn't talk about Smoking the Bandit, though.
Yeah. He played Hooper was the other one where he played the stuntman.
Yep. Do you ever? Okay, and then we'll really end it. Burt Reynolds, Dog will confirm this, was the biggest movie star at the time. Late 70s, early 80s. One of the biggest, right? Do you remember Sharky's Machine? When he did like the detective movie? And the guy was on the they had like a killer albino guy. And he made his friend jump, right? And so Burt Reynolds kind of does the same, jump off a building, and the albino guy says, if you push hard enough, you might hit the pool, right? And Burt Reynolds kills him the same way, like the way he killed his friend. He has him over the edge, and he looks down at him, he goes, if you push off hard enough. I forgot how he found out. Like maybe the guy was telling him to torture him. Like, yeah, I killed your friend. I made him. I can't remember. But I remember. I like that scene. Anyway, I don't know why I thought of it, but Smokey and the Bandit. You know what else was funny? Clint Eastwood, Any Which Way But Loose, Right Turn, classic.
Oh, I love those. Philo
Beto. Great movie. All right, folks. Should we go out singing? Keep them entertained for a moment, Dog. I got to find the... remember you sent me that link one time? For the song?
For For Happy Trails?
Yeah, I saved it this time. I should be able to find it. We'll go out singing. Just one chord, one verse.
Okay, you ready?
I gotta find it. Hold on. Oh God, where is it? I saved it. I couldn't.
Oh, you don't
find
know
it.
the words?
Well, I only know like a little bit of it. I'll find it. You know what? I'll just do it this way. I'll find it this way. Happy trails.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Yeah, here comes happy trail. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it.
Trails to
Here we go.
you
So we'll
until we meet again.
Here we go. All right, let me get the full. Here we go. We're gonna skip the sum of the trails part. I don't like the beginning part. All right. Well, I'll do it. I'll do it. All right. Here we go. Some trails are happy ones. Other ones are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Now, dog, we shall do it together.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Happy
trails to you.
Keep smiling
until
then. Who cares
about the clouds when we're together?
Just sing
a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails
to you
until
we meet
again.
Yeah, I tried.
Bravo!
Give yourself a hand now.
Great job, my friend. Great job. So until we meet again, folks, thank you very much. Health, happiness. We'll be on tomorrow, 10 p.m. if you haven't had enough of us, with Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware. Talk a little Sim Sports and Star Wars, and we don't know where we're going with it. So thank you very much. Dog, last word to you, my friend.
Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. My friends.
God bless. Peace.
Love you all.